Damn.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm playing.
Bruh.
But watch you actually mess it up.
Nah, look, dude. No, seriously, he's back.
I was playing with you.
Okay. Anyway, what's up, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another podcast. We're at episode number 64, PE podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. I figured out that I might have asbestos poisoning, so hopefully I'm okay for the rest of the stream. Hopefully I'm okay. But man, I feel stupid. But anyway, what's up, everybody? OJ here. We got a nice cast of awesome characters this week, and we got lovely topics like us being blamed for mass shootings. That's just great topics this week. Bang bang. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. The new Switch. We got gonna talk about that. Gamescom. There's some cool stuff going on there with Gamescom, so that's gonna be fun. So all right, so let me go ahead and introduce the cast that we've got here. Above me, we've got Avedon Smith from the Avedon Smith channel. What's up, Avedon?
What up? Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, no problem. Good to see you here. Also, in the center of the screen, you guys got VC. VC makes his return to the podcast. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Been you Fire Emblem Three Houses. I know you would be so happy to hear that from me, but yes, that's what I've been doing.
Nice. Me too, man. Great game. Next up is Baron with, I think his camera's not working, but his audio's working, or is it? Oh, no.
What you talking about, bro? I'm working.
Camera was just working a minute ago. What happened?
There you go, man. We got Baron here. What's up, Baron? How you doing today?
I was doing good. I was enjoying Fire Emblem Three Houses. The plot twist in that game is just amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's ridiculous. I've been enjoying Madden, even though some of y'all hate it. But then we had that incident, and then now I'm not in a good mood.
I roasted Madden for like a whole 30 minutes today on my
Destroyed them.
Why did you do that?
I roasted the hell out of Madden for like 30, 40 minutes on my stream. I roasted Ultimate Team. That's what I was roasting Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team.
He's in NBA Live too.
Oh, NBA Live 96.
Classic.
That's the greatest game of all time. NBA Live 96 is the greatest EA game of all time. NBA Live 96. The game is great.
Street Series is pretty good too, though.
Sports game.
The greatest EA game, period, is NBA Live 96.
Ooh, Lord, you about to start a fight today.
All right, and then next up we've got, I'm not sure who this guy is, but I think it's Jordan Fringe. I think.
The name is Tom Cruisin' for a Bruisin'.
Tom Cruisin' for a Bruisin'.
Tom
You got
Cruisin'
that?
for a Bruisin'. Okay, and I see that you got some nice chest hair there as well. What the hell is going on with Baron's screen? Come on,
What happened?
Did y'all see that?
The hell?
Oh my God!
I didn't see it.
On my screen, it was glitching back and forth, and you were like, and your tongue was sticking out. And it looked like a gif of you just going like with your tongue, like fuck, like
Hey man, we on Discord, man. It's just.
It looked like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like when they lick something in JoJo's Bizarre. It looked like that.
Really?
Oh my God, dude. Okay, everybody in the chat, they say, yeah, it was glitching. They all saw it.
Oh man. Whatever, man.
And then you look like a JoJo character. It was awesome. All right, and Cruising for a Bruising is here, Jordan Fringe.
I'd like to point out that we got a comment saying, why are only the white guys wearing shades? We're just trying to keep it classy.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't be sitting here and like, let's plan for this. Like, hey, white people wear shades. Black people don't wear shades. Like, that's not something that we planned. Y'all thinking that we're devious. Like, wait, man. All right, look, I'm wearing glasses. I'm wearing glasses.
Avedon's wearing glasses too.
Avedon's wearing glasses.
That's Baron.
I mean, I could not wear glasses for the whole episode. Switch it up. Since Jordan switching up, I can switch up and not wear glasses the whole episode.
Wait, do you have 20/20 vision, Avedon?
No.
Wear your glasses before you hit your head on the monitor.
I'm not that good.
Like, hey guys, I saw the bam. You're just gonna hit your head on the monitor. Man. Nah, I'm joking.
I can see everything good.
All right, so let's see here. Some people are saying that the show's not live, but Philip, the show's live, so I don't know what to tell you. Refresh the stream.
Is this live?
He's saying that it doesn't have it like it's live, but it is live. So I don't know what else to say, but it is live. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and start up the podcast, guys, and we have a fantastic hoes mad, bro. That hoes mad.
What is the topics anyway? We didn't even decide.
We did. It's in the title of the video. Violent video games being blamed for gun violence. We got some new stuff that's going on, like Walmart. You guys see you guys saw that Walmart thing, right?
That was so stupid.
So Walmart now, in response to mass shootings here in America, because we all know that video games are the problem. In response to mass shootings, Walmart is now removing ads. So violent video game ads from from their stores. No violent video games will be advertised at all in their stores. Even if a company wants to pay for one, Walmart is looking like they're going to be filtering that out. It seems that way, according to GameInformer.com. This was in response to the President of the United States saying that violent video games are part of the problem. This is also in response to other lawmakers, governors, and things like that saying that video games are part of the problem. This is not a new thing, though. This is an old rhetoric that's been brought up from both sides. We're not trying to make this political or anything, but from both sides, saying that, or any sides, middle side, the neutral side, left side, right side, far middle, far left, every side. There's been old people that say this, that say violent video games are the problem, but it's been brought into the forefront again because of all the mass shootings that we've been having in America. Actually, it's been so bad when it comes to the violent shootings that the I forgot what it is, like the worldwide travel amnesty or whatever, has actually put out an alert in the US saying that there's so many mass shootings, like you should be careful based on your religion and stuff like that, or based on your ethnicity and all that. And now video games are being pinned as the scapegoat. That's where we kind of come in. So it's very unfortunate what's happening right now, because there's been multiple scientific tests and research that shows that there is no link between these type of things that are happening. But that doesn't stop people from pinning the blame on violent video games. So I do want to start with, I'll start with above me with Avedon. Avedon, I know you have quite a bit to say on this. I know you haven't talked about it yet, like in a video or anything. I talked about it and promptly lost. I talked about it and promptly lost like 50-something subscribers. I
was about to, and I just said, you know what? I'll hold off.
Yeah. And I was not going to talk about it, but I was like, no, this is too important of a topic, because now I'm feeling like we're being personally attacked. From these people, you know?
Absolutely. And I wanted to talk. The reason why I didn't want to do a video, because I wanted to talk about it with the community themselves, and not only my community but your community as well. But when it comes to this subject of video games are causing mass shootings, or video games cause like outbursts of violence, this is nothing new. This is something that we've been hearing since the Mortal Kombat days, since we were growing up, OJ.
Yeah.
So this has been going on since back then. And it intensified when Grand Theft Auto came out, joyriding, all these things. And it's the way for the government I'm not even trying to get political here, but it's a way for them to place blame on something else without taking responsibility for actually fixing the problem. That's where we at right now. This is the way they're saying, hey, let's blame this so we don't have to fix the problem. We could still say, you know what, we don't have to go ahead and actually look to see why are these things happening. Like if you actually watch some of these things, the guy said he felt inspired, like seeing other things happen. So these people are doing these things because they see these things are on the news from their verbal statements themselves. So my whole thing is with this whole video games thing, I'm like, you really need to have more evidence of that, because honestly, the way I see it, people are less stressed when they play video games. 9 times out of 10, when I see people who are, and you guys in the chat, let me know, when you play video games, half of the people that I know play video games play it as an escape from the reality that they're in. They play it to get away from the stress. They play it to get away from the troubles of work. They play to get away from the troubles that are going on with family, what have you. They play to get away from everything. And then after they get their time to play video games, they go home. They go back to work, do what you got to do, rinse and repeat. That's what a lot of people play video games for. To say that video games is the cause for all of these different mass shootings is absolutely ridiculous. There's inconclusive evidence of that, and it's honestly sickening at the point. And the fact that Walmart dared to say that they wanted to go ahead and start removing ads for violent video games. My question to you is, are you doing the same for movies? Are you doing the same for other forms of entertainment? Because if you're only targeting video games, then is really an agenda, because that brings up the tariffs that we talked about earlier in the year with raising video games up by what, 25% tax?
At 25%.
Exactly. So I feel, if anything, call me crazy, but I feel like this is leverage to just do just that.
Well, yeah. I mean, VC. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on this? It's funny because people are saying it's not guns, it's not video games, it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, it's not that. But here in America, we're much more intelligent than the rest of the world because we know what the problem. It's not guns. That's not the problem. It's not video games. The rest of the world kind of knows what the problem is in civilized countries, but we in America, we don't know what the problem. Oh,
See,
so
I think you're giving us Americans a little too much credit.
I'm being very sarcastic right now. By the way,
you are. But some people aren't. I think you're being sarcastic.
I'm trying to be politically correct, but also at the same time being sarcastic, because here in America we know the problem isn't guns. The problem isn't guns, and it's not video games, and it's not anything
else under the sun but video games. That's how they make it out to be, and it's so wrong. They make like they're having movies for hundreds of years now that have been all about violence and like less about like sexual stuff, for example. Like, there's been different case studies at Villanova University, Nevada, and even a few others talking about how found that teenagers who played violent video games showed higher levels of emotional arousal, but much less in parts of the brain associated with direct thoughts and behavior of violence. So violence isn't even a thought that most people get. And that was from Indiana University. And one more thing I'll mention real quick from Villanova University. I know I'm going to facts, but this is something that we need to talk about. 20% were interested in violent games, while 70% of the general population were not interested and felt that it was something that I go kill anyone after the game. It makes no sense why these things are happening when studies have proven that there's no link to mass shootings. It's not right at all. Japan and other countries who are the bigger suppliers of video games, they have much less, hundreds of less shootings a year. We're even dealing with this.
Thousands.
Realistically.
If you want to talk about America versus
year
Japan,
on year,
thousands of less shootings.
Yes. Year on year, yes, thousands. But I'm saying for the whole year is like 300 more.
300?
That's nuts.
In terms of shootings, Japan has double-digit shootings a year.
Currently, already for this year, we're over 300.
Yeah.
That's nuts. It's nuts. It's not the video games.
Over 300, 300 deaths, right? You're talking about deaths?
Shootings. 300.
Because I think there's been more than actual shootings. There was like 60 in shootings. There was like 60 in Chicago last week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's always going to be extra shootings every now and there. And some don't even get recorded, because you know how cops are nowadays. It's just how it is. Nothing gets recorded. So it's a shame. It's just how America is. There's many smart people out there, and then there's many people who are just ignorant.
Yeah. Baron, what are your thoughts on this?
They're ignorant. Do you really want me to talk about this?
No, you don't have to.
You go full blast on.
Go
for it.
You know, this really makes me angry. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because when I seen that Walmart report, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. You're gonna not advertise violent video games, but you're gonna sell guns 2 aisles over. Like, what the hell is that? That makes no damn sense whatsoever. It's the most asinine, stupidest thing I've ever seen. And what makes me so upset about it is that we live in a society right now, and especially with social media, is driven by a lot of shit. If one person does something, it creates a domino effect. And Walmart, being in the biggest retailer that they are, doing this, I can see other people trying to copy it. So that's what really pisses me off about the whole thing, because this has nothing to do with these mass shootings whatsoever. This is probably the most laughable scapegoat I've ever seen. And like Abaddon said, they've been trying to do this for decades. I remember when it wasn't just video games. At one point, it was wrestling. It's like, don't let your kids watch wrestling. It makes them violent and all this other shit. And it's like, but when you have somebody who's our president do this, then stuff starts to get crazy, especially with, I don't want to get too political with it, but you know what type of power he has. So when he started saying that, that already made me upset. And now you see Walmart reacting to what he said. And then we all know how the NRA is and how they're lining a lot of people's pockets.
That check.
And
1.6 million in the first half of the year.
Yeah, and they're lining a lot of people's pockets. And the thing is, what kills me that Walmart decided to do this. It's like, I don't understand it. It's like video games is probably one of the biggest industries that makes the most money in America. I think video games and guns, their profits were probably almost even, I believe, on the last report. So I'm like, why would you go this route and start tiptoeing around this to piss off these people? Because you don't want to piss off the gaming people to the point they're not buying products from your store anymore. But I feel like this was more of the NRA pulling their, weight around, and I think Walmart reacted to it. You know what I mean? Because it just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. And what makes me mad is that if they see Walmart do it, then everybody else will probably copycat. And the only person that's probably smiling about that possibility is GameStop. That's the only people that's probably smiling about it, because that will make customers come back to their store. But it just, I just don't get it. It's just ridiculous. There's been studies like VC said, it's like, why are we doing this? I don't get it. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Yep. I can understand if you bring up something that's directly affected of something, but this is so indirectly out of the picture of what's going on. I mean, if you literally go to the social media pages of these people that did these heinous acts, video games is their inspiration. So why are you attacking video games? It makes no sense.
Scapegoat?
Yeah, none.
Guys, I don't remember. I think it was not the Dayton shooting, but the El Paso shooting. It said in his little, I don't know what the exact thing is called.
Manifesto.
It's all about Trump, mention of Call of Duty, but a lot of stuff about Trump. Like, come on, how are you gonna just? Oh, he mentioned Call of Duty once. That clearly means something. There's a connection there. No, it's not at all. Like, it's like.
I mean, wasn't one of those tweets said something about he wanted to cleanse America of the Mexicans or some crazy shit like that? Yeah. How do you link that to video games? That's what blows my mind. Like, how do you link that to video games? Then I seen these idiot-ass politicians get on Fox News and say all this stupid shit they know nothing about. It's like, what? It's like, bruh.
I had Pharaoh Monch. I had Pharaoh Monch and Simon Says on repeat almost the whole week.
Well, Jordan, what are your thoughts on all of this, man?
So when the blame's being passed around, whatever they can choose, video games, they're thinking, oh, it starts with the person, but it ends because of video games. Let me tell you this. It starts and ends with the person and their home life and who they are. It doesn't revolve around their interests of if they played a video game in their life, because, spoiler alert, majority of people have played a video game in their life. Whether it's a Mario or a Call of Duty, doesn't matter. At some point, everyone's played a video game. So that means everyone's violent. Animal Crossing gets me so heated sometimes when I don't have the right turn-ups. Man, I have to take my anger out. It gets me so furious. So the government's totally right, guys, right? It's not any other problems. And it's not... They're so easy to give a scapegoat answer for the person. This person did something super terrible, horrible, unforgivable, and they're going to sit there and be like, wow, it's because of video games, not because of that person who's a bad person. No, it's because of the person is a bad person. Oh, he's mentally ill. Not all of them are. Some of them are just bad people. Like the recent shootings where the guy said, oh, because of this. It's because of something that Trump said. Oh, it's because of I wanted to get out there, and he said they're invading, so I wanted to go stop them. Like, it's stuff like that. It has nothing to do with video games. Anyone who thinks that is a complete and utter moron. Anyone who speaks that rhetoric, anyone who tweets it, says it out loud somewhere in a press conference, writes it down, posts a blog about it, they are dumb. And the fact that the whole internet can see this for the most part, at least on Twitter with the hashtags that were trending, that were defending it, like, yeah, let's totally blame video games because that's the root of all evil. And it's not. And I think it's the stupidest thing to keep blaming that, because if you're going to blame video games, you have to blame everything else, not just movies, books. Sometimes books are really graphic, and you know how many murder mystery books there are that could tell you how this person murdered someone and got away with it? Like, you could find that in any bookstore. Any kid can just randomly open that. Any adult can randomly open that. Same thing with movies. Same thing with video games. Same thing with every form of media. What Walmart is doing is something that I'm not even shocked at, because they censor their CDs. You can't buy an album from Walmart that is parental advisory. It's all censored. Their movies and video games are fine, but their music is censored. That's just another step on their agenda to be like, oh, we gotta do what we can, but they're still gonna sell the games. They're just not gonna advertise they have them, because they want the good publicity for it, but they still want to sell it. They still want that money. The video game industry, you know how much money that makes? I think we talk about it once a month, how much video games sell. And a good chunk of these video games are violent video games. But guess what we don't see every single day? Let's say Call of Duty sells 10 million copies. Do we see 10 million mass murders every single time a new one comes out?
Nope.
No, because it's not the game's fault. There is a rating there, and it's up to that person in their life with they're an adult to understand that this is a piece of fiction, a piece of media, and it's for an escapism, a piece of entertainment, something else that is not real. And if it's a kid who has a terrible family life, it's up to the parents or their parental guardian or whoever in their life to let them know and differentiate the differences between that. That's how I was brought up. I was brought up on rated R movies and violent video games, but I was told specifically that this is not real life. Do not emulate this stuff ever. This is just what it is. This is a piece of work right here that you can play or watch, but it is not real. And I grew up with good morals and to understanding right from wrong. So when someone does something like this, that tells me, okay, either the person is completely batshit insane, or he has a terrible family life and grew up not learning these kind of things. And I still at that point don't blame the video games, because then it falls at home between them and their parental figures. And that's my statement on it. I think it's dumb. I think everyone can agree with that. If anyone says otherwise, you're an absolute idiot. But that's all I have to say. Sorry.
No, that was very
good.
That was well said. And I just want to add one point to, like you said, it ain't the video games. And what makes me so mad is like they just want to section out. It's just these type of video games. It's like, so is it video games as a whole, or it's just these type of video games? Pokemon don't have me buying plastic balls and throwing shit at squirrels.
But it should teach you animal cruelty, because you have animals fighting each other.
They said violent, like basically the quote was like grotesque or gruesome and grisly video games. So like games that have like, there's games that have violence, but it's not gruesome and grisly, right? But so I think that they're trying to separate that. So Pokemon is not gruesome and grisly. Pokemon faint. There's no blood. But it's not gruesome and grisly. So
like Red Dead.
You understand that, but when I see people and politicians get on, nationally televised cable television and say, video games dehumanizes people when you blow people heads off in Fortnite. You can't blow nobody head off in Fortnite. So what are you talking about?
They don't even know what they talk about. That's the worst part of it all.
That's what pisses me off. You literally can't blow nobody head off Fortnite.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What are you talking about?
I need to hear.
These people. I mean, I remember a segment that was done about 12 years ago when about 12 years ago when Mass Effect came out. And they were trying to make a link between Mass Effect and the sexual relations and trying to teach children or kids to be sexually active, And Jeff,
it's an M-rated game.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how to explain that to people. It's for adults, and if you're allowed to play it as a kid, that's up to the parents. Once again,
what makes me so angry is that like this form of media is the only thing that influences a child's mind. Everybody watches Game of Thrones. Are you out there trying to slaughter multiple fucking people and ride dragons? No, you're not. Everybody watch Walking Dead. Are you out there trying to slice dead people? No, you're not doing that. So stop acting like that's the only form of medium that makes people go crazy. It's like, it just pisses me.
There is no, in my opinion, there is no form of media that's going to make somebody go out there and do, like, if somebody's going to go out there and do something crazy, they're going to go out there and do something crazy.
They're already crazy.
They're already crazy. All that matters now is how they're going to do it, how they're going to execute it, how they're going to get what they're going to get, and all of that surrounds it. If somebody's crazy and they don't have somebody that's going to help them, they have nobody that's going to help them, or nobody that's going to pull them back into, into the light, pull them back into it, you know what I'm saying? Then they're going to do something. It's just how much damage are they going to do? How much damage are they going to do,
The saying goes that art imitates life. So these violent video games about war and all this other stuff are in relation to stuff in the past and should teach you about it rather than enforce you to do it. It's not, the saying is not life imitates art, because that doesn't make sense. We have to create art from experiences in life. So the argument is completely invalid in that one statement.
100%.
Peeps in the chat, don't argue about guns and stuff like that. Remember, people that are in other countries, obviously they're dumb. They don't know what they're talking about when it comes to guns, guys. So people that are arguing about guns, stop, because you're never going to convince anybody who's already into this American gun culture. Like, that's what I realized. You're never going to convince anybody that that's the issue. So guys don't even need to sit there and argue about it. People in America are much smarter than people in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So don't even waste time arguing about it. Here in America, we know what we're doing. Obviously, we know what we're doing. Okay, so stop arguing about guns and all that.
We know.
We already know.
And
guns are not the problem. They're not the problem at all. And people in America are much more intelligent than people in other countries.
We have 300 shootings a year, man.
That don't have these shootings, but you know
we're
what?
just jumping on toads the whole time.
We know what we're doing here, guys. So guys, stop arguing. There's no point. People in America are more intelligent about this than other people. So there's no point, because I already know what's happening. People in other countries, foreign countries, are saying, well, this is the issue. And then people here in America are saying, no, that's not the issue. So you're never going to convince anybody, because people in America are more intelligent when it comes to this matter. So stop arguing.
Now, I saw a comment in the comment section earlier I also wanted to touch on. They were saying that watch somehow soon that within media, in terms of movies, but more specifically video games, that guns and like violent stuff is going to be completely censored and taken out, and it's going to be regulated. Well, the second that happens, that's when America loses its freedom, and we become a completely different type of government than democratic. We lose our freedom. Well, it's not even like communist. What's it? Totalitarian. I forget the exact name of the other one, but that's a different kind of government, and we do not live in a free land anymore. Once that gets taken away. Something like that, because that's complete censorship of everything, because a lot of these video games that we love and enjoy, that some are violent, some are not, aren't even made here. And then what happens? So then we're the only country in the world that doesn't get except for Australia. They don't like violent video games too much, but you know what I'm saying? At that point, that's when it gets too far, and that's why I say it'll never happen. It'll never get to that level, because there'll be enough backlash and enough defending our rights at that point for that to not happen. There's too much, and not just like our feelings side of it, like, no, don't take our video games away. These companies who publish these games and make these games, like an Activision with Call of Duty, they're going to be up in court defending it and say, absolutely not, that you're taking our businesses by doing this. And there's going to be a huge uproar. There's so many factors to that. So I don't even think that's something to worry about, being censored out of video games. What we're going to see is people making stupid comments, and Walmart being, what violent video games? We totally don't advertise that. It's in the back. Go buy it. Give us money. We're not. That's what we're going to see.
I think
real quick, let me get a couple donations read out. Shout outs to Ziljan. He donated $7 total, and he says Minecraft survival mode teaches in real life violence. And then he also said the media has more blame than any video game. If you go out and kill 20 people, your face and name becomes plastered on media. They make them famous. So he's blaming necessarily the media. He's saying the media has more to blame than anything, because their name is plastered on stuff.
And I kind of brought up that point too when I was saying earlier.
Don't they kind of have to report on that type of stuff?
Well, yeah, they have to report on, but they do kind of go over.
You could report on it, but at the same time, when the police say we're not going to release his name, you don't have to release his name, release his picture. You can say what happened, but in the sense of not making this guy have a name for himself, we're not going to release any information about this individual. Change how you report the news.
I'm not going to blame them for something somebody else does.
That's almost
as bad as blaming video. Hold up, that's almost as bad as blaming video games now, in my opinion.
Well, no, I'm not blaming. I think that media has a part to play in it. I don't directly blame the media. I think certain media outlets will keep running stories and keep putting the people's names out there and keep doing it incorrectly. There's a lot of people I watch. This is why I don't watch regular news, because you either watch one channel, it's all right leaning, you watch another channel, it's all left leaning. I tend to stand. I watch people online and watch stuff online that sits in the middle, that explains exactly both sides and lets me think for myself. That's what I like to listen to, because I get the exact news. I don't get a skewed version of it. And I agree, when there's something this level, show the picture of the person, that's fine. But the second you start throwing his name out there, that person lives in infamy for the rest of eternity in the books, regardless if he's alive or dead. And so here's the difference. One person kills one other person, not national news, right? But this one person kills 20 people, now it's a national headline. That's why these mass shootings are happening. Partially, it's this infamy thing. It's all you can stem back to earlier than this, but obviously the whole Columbine thing. That's what really set off a lot of these big, like, oh, these people have lived on in infamy now, and I hate the world, so I want to do something to get my name out there so I'm remembered. That's where it stems at. It's the home life in the person. It's not about the video games. It's not about guns. It's not about it stems down to the person, the individual, and their family life 100%. And the media is not at fault 100%. But goddamn, are there so many problems with how you report on the news?
Yep. That's the point I was making. Definitely. Like it's how we report the news. It's like I'm not saying don't report it. I'm still not
blaming them though.
The problem is who is reporting the news and the people who are politicians that are just clearly too old to be still working. We need younger politicians in who know better. We get that, I guess. Well, no gamers, politicians, so we're gonna always have this problem.
OJ, to your point, yeah, 90% of them you can't blame. But when you have a reporter saying you could blow somebody's head off in Fortnite, that's when they become part of the blame. No, it's like your part is you're supposed to report the facts. You're not reporting facts.
They're not. So I'm talking about because what Big Z said. Big Z said that they're more to blame than any video game. So he's saying they're somewhat partially to blame because some idiot doesn't know that says you can blow somebody's brains out on Fortnite. The dude probably saw Fortnite. He saw that a bunch of stuff comes out of the dude and said, "Oh, well, that's basically blown." He meant I don't know if I didn't watch the segment, but he meant figuratively. I don't think
to begin with.
He just because like basically all the stuff pops out of you, and yeah, you're shooting somebody and it's bad. I mean, obviously what he's saying is stupid, but I'm not gonna blame him because he's an idiot and he doesn't know what that's not. He's still not responsible.
Listen to stupid things and believe in it. That's the problem.
He's just an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not blaming them for what happened. Like if something else happens again, because you know it will. I'm not gonna partially blame this idiot because he says that. What I'm going to say is this: the problem is that, like what Jordan was saying, I have my own personal beliefs in terms of what the issues are. I've seen what certain countries have done. I've seen what they've done to reduce these things. Here in America, obviously, we're more intelligent, so we're not going to do those things. And I get that because people start getting pissy about it. But I have my own beliefs and opinions on that. But what I'm trying to sit here and say is that it ain't some jackass's fault that did it because he doesn't know how to report. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It ain't his fault. He's just an idiot, but it ain't his fault.
No, I'm not saying they're not at fault for the incidents happening. No, the media has no fault in the incidents actually going down. But they're not the root. They have fault with the video games getting blamed because they don't report the accuracy of what's actually going on in some video games they talk about.
Okay, that's a different thing you're talking about, though. You're talking about video games being blamed. Yeah, they're at fault for video games being blamed. Yes, they are at fault.
Right,
the media's at fault for that.
They exacerbate the problem. They exacerbate the false narrative. The false narrative. The facts are when they actually happen. The facts are whatever that person said, like in their manifesto or their statements. Then what happens is that doesn't get as wide of a reach because it's not as clickable. It's not as a story driven. So what gets happen is, hey, he played a video game once. He played that Fortnite game where you can blow people's head off. Hey, he played Call of Duty once, and in the airport scene, shot a bunch of people in the airport. Should this be allowed in video games? That's where the problem comes from when people don't have anything else to report on. It starts becoming this, hey, what if this? What if this? And then it becomes that story of just video games because people like to play the what if game instead of looking at the actual facts presented. There is manifestos, there is complete documentation of what exactly was said in this specific circumstance. And the fact that no one in the media is covering that correctly is the problem, except for very few. I'm not going to say everyone. There are people who are covering out there correctly. They're just not getting enough clicks because it's not clickable. What's more clickable? Hey, this guy just didn't like Mexicans. Or, hey, this guy played a lot of video games. Now he's violent. Click here to find out. You know, that's the problem. We live in a click, click, click day and age where the goal is to get clicks, whether it's on YouTube or a website or to turn on to a news station or whatever it needs to be. And that's the catchier headline. And it sucks that we are that way because as soon as someone it catches my attention too, oh great, they're blaming video games now. Let me hear what this idiot has to say. That makes me want to hear it, but at the same time, I disagree with everything that's going on, and it sucks. And the simple point is, it's not the fault of video games. And I think that's what we all can agree on here. It's video games. To get back to the exact ending of the topic, video games are not the problem here. It's the person who did it and their life. That's it. Can we all agree on? Is that what we all agree on?
100%.
Oh, we agree on that. It's just more stuff to that also needs to be addressed, because that's the number one. What you talk about, that's number one. That's the number one thing that needs to be focused on. But it's also 2, 3, and 4 things that also need to be focused on as well after that. So
I agree. I do think the media needs to be in check, and it sucks that it is the way it is. But I don't blame them. I don't think they're not the root of the issues, but they exacerbate the problem, and that's the problem that they add to it, which does count for something. They shouldn't totally be left off the hook like, oh, it's not the media's fault. Media plays a role in it, and it doesn't help when the leader of our nation widely, publicly, at a press conference announces that it's violent video games, because that says that, because to all the generations above us or anyone who supports Trump is going to go, hell yeah, and that's it. That's it. And then it's like, oh well, the president said it, so it must be true.
People are just so. It's like there's been case studies done by real, actual places of actual intellect, and these, as in the comments, incels don't know better. They don't want to know the truth. They want to be ignorant to everything. They want to make a scapegoat, and it's not right.
It's just about people want to keep their gun ownership, and that's what opens up a whole nother can of worms. And it's nothing wrong with gun ownership. I just think there's something fundamentally flawed if I could just pop up in a Walmart and buy a shotgun and a bunch of ammo, and then I could do whatever I want from that.
You want to know where the guns are in my Walmart? They are one aisle behind the toys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They usually are set up like that. So most Walmart.
You know how many kids per day are in the kid aisle, and right there in clear view are all the guns. All the beautiful shiny guns on the wall, new camo armor. This one's pink for all the little girls. They have pink guns.
I don't necessarily think that guns are going to be here, whatever they're going to sell them. I don't necessarily think that that's the whole problem. I think it's the type. I think it's the type that people can buy and what they can do.
It's definitely that.
If you want protection,
I think that's what should be regulated the most.
If you want protection. I don't want a big old huge assault rifle that somebody can easily see.
You shouldn't be able to buy an assault rifle.
Yeah, I'm the first person who's gonna get shot. I want something.
It's not for hunting.
Yeah.
It's not for anything else. Like that is literally a weapon.
That's
a
war
kill.
weapon.
It's an assault rifle. The word is assault.
You should have a small weapon that you can conceal, that's quick and accurate if you need to respond to something. You don't want that in your house too, because if somebody comes in, I mean, you have family members there, you know what I'm saying? I want something quick and accurate. I don't want something big and bulky that I can accidentally, misfire. So I think that's the biggest issue. That's what they should really, with this whole violent video games and stuff like that. It's not, I don't think necessarily guns protecting yourself, but if I'm going to get a gun, it's going to be something small, accurate, and to protect myself. I ain't gonna get a Contra gun. You know what I'm saying? To protect myself.
My dude said Contra gun.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what people don't understand. That it's not that it needs that.
There should be 3 types of guns only that are accessible to anyone, because one, you should only have them for protection or in these weird emergency instances where you could save a bunch of lives. And those type of guns are a concealed handgun that you can have on your person if you're a registered, conceal and carry, or at home. A shotgun in some areas in your house for protection, and a hunting rifle. Not that I condone hunting, but it happens, and a hunting rifle is for that. There is nothing else. You don't need a Gatling gun. You don't need a bazooka. You don't need a sniper rifle.
You don't need AK-47 either.
100% you don't. You don't need any form of assault rifle. Anything that's automatic is 100% off limits. There's no reason anyone should need that to protect themselves.
Why do you need an M16, dog? Like, come
on. None of that should be even accessible.
For? What are you?
It should not even be.
For?
We shouldn't have any access to, like, at a store or someone can get them. That shouldn't even be a thing. These should be only to the military for wars or for protecting the country's circumstances. It shouldn't be to the person.
Look, there's already some weirdos in the chat saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. This stuff's already illegal. They're talking about automatic versus semi-automatic. Stop being dipshits, guys, in the chat. You
They
guys
make-
already
they
know
make
what
like
I
they
mean.
go
There's
to the store
assault
and buy
rifles.
stuff.
There's
They're sitting at home on their little desk.
let's stop trying to play hardcore gun magazine. You know what I'm saying? Stop, guys. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm that. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. No, I'm not a hardcore gun nut, so I don't know all the differences between certain types of assault rifles and ARs and different types of stuff. And that's already bro. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So you guys saying I'm wrong on that? Stop with you damn gun magazine enthusiasts. Okay, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? That's my opinion. My opinion is that we don't need these big old huge rifles that people obviously carry out mass shootings with. You don't need those normally. Just something small to protect yourself, or a shotgun like Jordan said. We don't need that type of stuff to protect yourself. We don't need to be we don't need Rambo. We don't need to we don't need that. If y'all think that you do, okay, that's fine. That's fine if you think that you do, but I don't. And look, this is what's happening. Y'all sitting here and say, no, it's okay, but look at what's happening. They're blaming video games now. Why the hell should we not lash back out? They're blaming video games. Why not lash back out? Why not give your opinion? Because it's not just old people. It's young people too. There's young people on Twitter blaming video games as well. You know? So it's not just old people. Nah,
guys, video games are the ones that kill people, man. You take a video game in your hand, you just throw it at someone's head really hard, it kills them. It's the video game's fault.
This is absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, y'all
pretty much.
Y'all out here sitting here and saying stuff like, oh, you don't need any of that. You really don't. But I know America, we're smart. We're the intelligent nation. We know what we're doing, right? We obviously know. Other countries couldn't possibly know what they're doing over us, because we're look. Listen, guys, this all comes back down to money. It really does. The U.S. the government, in terms of stuff, they don't get any money outside of normal tax. Well, Activision doesn't pay taxes, but outside of but video games are taxed. Video games are taxed, but video games don't cut any checks to our government or anything like that when it comes down to the end of the day. Whereas gun associations and stuff like that do. That's the reason why they're attacking video games, is because there's no protection against it. And why they're not attacking, certain people are not attacking the actual guns, you know what I'm saying? Because they're getting checks getting cut towards them. So don't for 1 second think that there wouldn't be an attack on video games if video games cut checks to certain politicians and stuff, okay? We wouldn't be hearing this from them if they got checks cut for them, but it's an easy scapegoat. If y'all ain't seen that it's tying back down to that, I don't know what else to say. If the gun industry didn't make $17 billion a year, this stuff, all this stuff that we're talking about would have been banned a long time ago. But it's money. It's money coming in. It's money coming into the economy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why people spend so much money to defend this, because they want this money to be continuing to circulate around. So, I mean, listen, nobody said there shouldn't not be any guns anywhere. If you need a gun for your protection, obviously you need a gun for your protection. That's cool.
And gun.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you don't need an assault rifle to protect your family.
Yeah, I wouldn't want one to protect my family. That's too big. It's too big and not quick enough.
And you're gonna be spraying.
It only takes one bullet. It only takes one bullet. You don't need something that can fire 10 in a second.
Someone in the leg, they'll fall. Like, what do you need? What you need to kill them? Like, really?
It's like, I mean, if you got aim.
Family. It's another thing if like they're just walking in trying to rob you, you shoot them in the foot, then the cops just bring them to jail. Like, you don't need an AR-15 for that, or a bazooka.
I mean, it's like it shows that people. It shows that people, you know, they can't. I guess people can't aim. Maybe that's probably why. But we're not gonna make
aim.
But honestly, for real, like we were saying, you don't need an assault rifle to. You don't need these weapons. Like even a shotgun is pushing. I know shotguns. That's cultural. Cause that's more of a over here. All right, OJ. But I start an argument again. Just hear what I'm saying. It's a Southern thing. You know,
it is. I don't think shotguns are necessary either, but it is.
I don't have a problem.
It is Southern.
I don't have a problem with that either. Some of my issues is that it's starting now to it's starting to snowball. The more we don't do anything, it's starting to snowball into it's our fault. The president just said, you guys, the gaming industry, you're responsible for this happening. So to sit back and say, to not push back at all, I think is a very dangerous rhetoric for all gamers out here. You guys are talking about it's not guns, it's not this, it's not that. Okay, but the people who are in position are pushing on what you like. Personally, for me, I'd rather push back on what they like or what they're getting cut checks for. So
100%.
you can sit here and say it's not this, it's not that. Well, they're pushing on what you like. When somebody kicks you in the nuts, you're gonna sit there and do nothing, or you just gonna sit and say, you know what, I deserve that kick, but you know it's not your fault. No, screw you, man. Like I'm not gonna sit back and just say
sit down for like a few minutes. So
Why got used to nuts? Why got used to nuts?
I'm just saying, and when you say that, and then when you say that it's not, you say that it's the family person's fault.
Nah,
there's nothing
you're right
that,
though. You're absolutely right. All facts.
Bruh.
Here's the thing. Like, if you just want to break it down and make it more, when they take that man to court, what they gonna question him on? They're not gonna question him on no damn video game. They're gonna question him on directly stuff that affected to what that incident happened with. Ain't no damn video game gonna be brought up in any kind when it comes to convicting that man. So it's like it makes no sense. It's just dumb. And the people that saying it's not the guns, well, okay, that's cool. You can have that, even if I agree with you. But you also need to stand there and say it's not the video game. That's what you need to do as well if you want to say that.
It's not anything at this point. It's the family life that nobody can affect but families. The government can't affect family life. The government can't affect it, and well, the economy obviously, but the economy in America is one of the strongest economies in the world. Like
but the economy doesn't decide if a person is good at parenting.
Yeah, exactly. The economy doesn't decide. We've got, I mean, everything that people could potentially need to be successful for the most part. There are some restrictions. There are some roadblocks for some. Obviously, there's people that grew up in certain situations, but everything is set for you to have a great and good life here in America. Okay? For the most part, everything's set up. So people sit here and say, well, we need more fathers. Bruh, there's nothing else that anybody can do. There's nothing else that anybody can do. It's up. The government can't regulate somebody being a good parent.
Gamers to be politicians in the government. If we don't have gamers,
you can't regulate family life.
We'll have no problems. But this is what's going to keep happening. We're going to keep having this rhetoric happen. What case studies come out?
But anyway,
go to the next topic though.
Yeah, man.
Next topic. Next topic. Like I said, America, we actually know what we're doing. We know. We do.
We're geniuses.
We're genius. We're absolute geniuses when it comes down to this. Don't worry, guys. Our government will get it right. These will stop, maybe, potentially, probably not.
Hopefully.
Let's see here. All right, moving on to the next topic. We got a brand new Switch. Brand new Switch that was released recently, and your boy. Got one.
Finally got one?
Yeah, I got one. GameStop put it in, but let me tell you guys the story with this. Nintendo, the reason why they're being very hush-hush about this is because Nintendo does not want people to think that there's any type of upgrade to this Switch really at all. They don't want, the Nintendo rep that was at GameStop when I went to buy this, she was saying that she was even mad that GameStop marked it as Nintendo Switch version 2. They didn't even want them to mark it in their internal system as Nintendo Switch version 2. They didn't even want them to mark it as that. It's just Nintendo's being very secretive about when they were even going to get it into stores, but you should check your GameStops. It should be available. Better battery life. Apparently, the Joy-Cons are the same. I know John did a video. I watched that video. The Joy-Cons are the same, but they've moved the antenna around, so maybe there's less desyncing, but there still could be some Joy-Con drifting. We have to test it with, I mean, obviously, the controllers just came out, so I haven't heard any reports yet of Joy-Cons drifting with the new ones. It's probably out there, though, but I haven't heard anything yet. But anyway, around the horn here. Who's buying the new Switch? Who isn't buying the new Switch? We're going to start with Jordan. Jordan, you getting the new Switch, or do you already have it, or what's going on?
I don't see a point. I'll just buy the Switch Pro. You know, it's like I'm not gonna buy a whole new Switch for battery life. I'll get the Switch Lites because they're cool, like the designs and whatnot. But it's just a new Switch. You know, an extra hour battery life don't bother me.
Okay, Baron, thoughts? New Switch.
No.
VC, I know your thoughts, but go ahead and let people know.
Was gonna get the Switch, the Dragon Quest edition, the really nice one with the blue Joy-Cons and the dock, but I ended up back instead. The one RGT was talking about on his video, I bought it literally an hour later. It was sold out. So I guess that video helped them out a lot.
What Switch was it? You cut out. Oh, the battery pack. The battery pack. Okay.
battery pack instead of going for the Dragon Quest Switch, which is the revision, but just with Dragon Quest Blue Joy-Cons, which they look really nice. I know got it. Just instead, if it's $30,
you break it up a lot.
Yeah, you cutting out.
Yeah, BC, you on that Walmart Wi-Fi, ain't you?
Motel 6 if it's really doing that bad.
Motel 6 Wi-Fi, bro. This man out here with that that Smash Quick Play Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? That I pick Ness.
It sounds more like a mic issue in settings, like a sensitivity output or something, because it keeps like mid sentence cutting you in and out.
Or just unplug the mic, then plug it back in, something like that. Okay, well we'll get back to VC. Abaddon, new Switch, you getting it or not?
Not at all.
Not at all. So I'm the only person.
Yeah, like y'all must think I'm rich to go ahead and buy that.
Oh, I'm not rich at all. I'm not.
It's not even worth discussing. Honestly,
I'm not rich at all. I'm not eating for this next week or two, and I mean that. I'm not eating. I actually went and bought apples, and I'm just gonna have apples and bananas and some vegetables for the rest of the week. That's how I'm gonna save money.
Is this how you want to live?
Yeah, apples, bananas, and vegetables are good for you, man. That's a good diet.
I know, but like, come on, you gotta have some protein in there.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit of chicken.
Might do a little bit of chicken.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me now, or
Yeah, you good.
I changed the mic.
Here's the thing. From what I understand, there's been some reports coming out. People have been saying stuff like Xenoblade runs better on the new Switch than on the old Switch. So
lies.
Huh?
I play mostly on my TV anyway.
Lies.
Well, it's not even.
No,
I believe
how is it.
I believe
lies?
it. It's believable. It's believable because of what game is that? Doom for the Switch runs better. I heard.
Yeah, like my boy TH3 here in the chat, he literally tested it live for me when we were on stream the other night. And he said, he was like, hey, look, he said Xenoblade looks and runs better. Portable mode. Dock, obviously, I don't think there's any difference. Maybe. So, either way, I got it because there's more battery life, and I got it just because I wanted to test it out. People said like the Joy-Cons.
Battery pack though. Instead, you could have got that battery pack. Could have waited for revised Joy-Cons to come out and bought those instead of a $300 system. Don't have to worry about the whole transfer process. Like you're gonna have to go through all of that.
Here's the thing: if they were going to revise the Joy-Cons, they would have done it with this model because this is a whole different. It's a whole different production model, obviously, because you know what I'm saying. Like they have obviously there's some type of there's energy saving things in here. So if they were going to revise the Joy-Cons, this would like completely revise them because they moved like the antenna spot or whatever. If they were going to complete, this would have been the time to do it because they have new model Joy-Cons coming out. So if they didn't do it now, they wouldn't do it later.
Revision. This is what.
That's what I'm saying. If they were going to completely remake the Joy-Cons, they would have done it right now. This would have been the opportunity to do it. It was right here.
The only reason OJ got it, guys, let's be honest, it's a tax write-off.
Dang.
Yeah, maybe.
He put you.
I don't blame you. I don't blame. I bought the Pokemon Switch.
No, that's not true. I bought the Super Smash Brothers Switch because I thought it looked cool. You know,
speaking of Pokemon Switch,
there we go.
Oh God. I don't really get topic for tonight, but I guess we're jumping to it.
I do have some hot spicy takes that I reserved only for podcasts this week. I didn't make any videos.
Let's start there. I guess we can talk about because like we're really good on time. So let's go and let's start with Jordan on your hot spicy takes when it comes to Pokemon because there was a new trailer that was released.
That was a good trailer. Pretty good.
The Japanese trailer was better.
I need to react to that then. I'll do another reaction to it.
No, the Japanese trailer was better. What? It was.
That was a good trailer?
I didn't see it. It was good. Listen, Obstagoon. You are not going to get mad at Obstagoon, okay? Obstagoon. I don't care what you say.
It's literally Xenoblade.
Obstagoon. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Obstagoon. That's it.
Oh, I got some stuff to say about Obstagoon.
Okay, well, we'll wait for Jordan. Let's get to Baron. So, Baron, obviously you disagree with Abaddon's thought process. So why was the trailer bad?
First of all, stop putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
You were laughing when he said the trailer was good, so I figured you thought it was bad. I
definitely would call that good. I mean, it didn't do anything. What they showed different forms. You know what I mean? what was it?
It was good.
Homeboy looks like a mix between a bong and a hookah now. So it's like, it's like it was okay. Team Yell, that's their name, right? The new team.
I didn't like them.
I don't understand why the villains are looking more emo each time they show them.
It's a toxic fan base. That's the joke. Pokemon made it so that the enemy team is a toxic fan base, because look at how Pokemon has been throughout the whole year. It is one big laugh clap back from Game Freak. So that's all it is.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with the designs or anything. It's just that
it's shouldn't be showing his belly button like
it's still not pushing the envelope where I think Pokemon should be pushing it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's my problem.
I do want to mention too, Big Z also donated another $5 through Super Chat, and it says, well, this was kind of going back to what it is. He said, what I mean is that they seek fame by doing so basically he was talking about the media, playing into it, seeking fame from that. So yeah, I think we kind of all talked about that and kind of came to an agreement. So yeah. So either way. So Jordan, what's your hot and spicy take for podcasts on this one, man? I want to hear it.
I'm not too happy with some of the stuff I've seen. Like, I'm still excited for the games, obviously. I'm fine with the new wheezing form, the Galarian form. I think it's an interesting take on pollution. But also being like kind of funny because also it's like a top hat and mustache to, British people, it's clever, I guess. The one thing, like I love Zigzagoon and Lanoon, kind of look like skunks now with their new Galarian forms. Dope. Their new evolution, Obstagoon, is the worst thing I have ever seen Pokemon create.
First of all, you got to stop right there.
No, listen to me. If it was its own Pokemon that's supposed to look like Gene Simmons, fine. Fine. I get it. There's a big punk rock scene in the UK. Makes sense. I get it. But for the evolution line is the stupidest evolution. You go from a raccoon to like, and then the Lanoon looks like a skunk now, and then all of a sudden he's standing like he's a giant man who's a rocker. It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
First of all, you gotta say that Magikarp and Gyarados makes no sense.
That remind me of like
it's more believable, and actually it does. It does. I need you to go I'll make a Pokemon Explained on this because there's a whole lore about these. The fish that Magikarp is based off of would go up, try to swim up a waterfall, and if it made it up to the waterfall, the mythology was that it would turn into a dragon, and the dragon being Gyarados. So it does make sense. This is literally just a punk rock skunk that stands on 2 feet, and that is the stupidest. If it was its own thing, cool.
The whole thing will be cool, but because it evolved, it's not cool.
You know what? I think
it doesn't make sense for the evolution line. It feels like, hey, let's bring back old evolution. So let's look at Gen 3 Pokemon and make it evolve. At least make it make sense. This looks more like Lycanroc from the last generation. It makes more sense to be its own Pokemon.
You know what makes it stupid, Jordan?
You know what makes it stupid, ruins the old Lanoon evolution. It makes the original form obsolete. So who's going to use regular Lanoon now? Nobody. Everyone's going to use the new one.
That's what I said in my reaction. I feel like this actually gives credence to why they're not bringing the national decks over because of stuff like this.
There's still no excuse for that.
I don't think that this is the replacement for that. I think the Galarian forms, similar to the Alolan or the Alola forms or whatever, that's fine. I'm fine with there being new forms. But this is a new evolution. This is Obstagon. This is not Lanoon who has a Galarian form. This is a brand new evolution.
They're hitting you guys with the hose mad in the chat.
Yeah, hose is mad because
they're hitting y'all with the hose mad in the chat.
Jordan, don't even let him. Where did that come from? Because that is hilarious.
It came
from Hose Mad been around for a while.
But it really came from the Nintendo community when people were complaining about Erdrick or the hero. So then they started saying Hose Mad that Erdrick's in Smash.
That's the first time I seen it when they had the hero pick and it had Hose Mad on. I was like,
yeah. No, but Hose really were mad when Erdrick was announced for Smash. And Japan's like, bro, y'all better stop. Like, Dragon Quest is dope. But anyway, David Valdez with the $10 donation is supporting the PE podcast. Thank you, David Valdez, for the big $10 donation. I do appreciate the support on the podcast, man. It really does help out because your boy eating vegetables and apples for the rest of the month because I bought a Switch.
OJ, I don't think that
doesn't sound responsible.
2 days. How are you gonna do that?
What? That's not wise, OJ. You just said you had asbestos poisoning, so why would you do that?
Well, that doesn't sound wise.
What, eating vegetables or what?
You just said apples, banana, and vegetable. What type of vegetable? Like what?
Green, like carrot, like mixed vegetables.
Carrots aren't green. That's the first thing you went to.
Don't you say
greens, like carrots.
No, like you guys know, like the big like birds, like the big old bags of mixed vegetables. You get like corn,
Yeah.
Carrots, green beans, peas, like all that. Yeah, just
we understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just that.
Enough about your
Throw the
vegetables,
ramen
though.
in there, ain't you? Just throw the ramens in there while you at it.
I had some noodles last night, man, and I'm good. I took some from my mom's house because she doesn't eat them. So I tell you guys, I live like a bum. You guys wouldn't believe me. I'm telling you, I literally spend nothing.
Clearly.
I made myself some steak tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know how to do it.
I spend
OJ's priorities are so good.
I spend about $100 on food a month. No joke.
What?
Yeah.
What?
How? That's not even
It's possible.
a possible thing.
It is possible.
Wait,
No, it's possible if you are shopping at Aldi and save a lot. That's the only way.
Are you like a coupon cutter?
Save us, all right, okay?
Together?
I shop at there's an Aldi right next to Walmart. Yeah, I shop at Aldi and I shop at Walmart.
Recycling bottles and gets every coin from them every Saturday.
I really don't. Y'all think, like I said, y'all realize I lost like 60 something pounds. Y'all realize it wasn't just exercise, right? Y'all realize I don't eat like I used to eat. I used to eat like a fat ass, so I'd spend hundreds of dollars on food a month. Now I don't eat like that.
You need more protein than just vegetables and greens, bro.
Yeah, come on.
I eat protein. I have chicken sometimes, but I just eat. I don't buy a
Yo,
lot.
you gonna eat, yo?
Okay, here's a question: what type of chicken do you like?
Just the grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken. Okay.
Yeah,
Grilled chicken will give you some muscle though. So okay.
grilled chicken. I'm natural. My physique is naturally muscly. It's not like I have to go to the gym and lift a bunch to get muscles. It's just I'm just naturally like this. This is how I was when I was a kid. Just do some push-ups. I'm naturally like this. I don't lift a lot of weight. People think, oh, you lift so much. No, I don't. I lift once a week, and I'll do low weight. I don't lift a lot. I'm just naturally like this.
That's one misconception a lot of people have. And people come to me with that same thing. Bruh, you don't need to be in that gym 2 hours every.
Nah,
You don't.
You don't.
You just gotta eat.
Necessary.
You just gotta eat good.
If you know what you're doing in the gym, you don't need to be in that.
You just gotta eat good. I mean, I do cardio. I did cardio. I did a lot of cardio to lose weight, but really, I just eat good and I actually just stop eating. Sometimes I just stop eating, and just eat vitamins, get my vitamins and minerals, like nutrients. Like I just stop eating so much. That's what I mean. I don't mean stop eating like completely. I just mean stop eating so much. Don't be a fat ass. That's what I'm trying to say.
Anyway, back to Pokemon.
Back to Pokemon.
Say too.
Hey, this is what I'm gonna say about Pokemon, man.
I wasn't done, you mother.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you be alright.
I'm gonna get ignorant on this. So you go ahead.
There's I don't remember the name, but the new Pikachu clone this generation.
Oh God.
I'm fine with them doing similar type cutesy Pokemon like a Pikachu, but like I love Mimikyu,
okay.
right? Mimikyu happened last gen, and basically it's this weird little ball of like voidness inside of a stuffed fake Pikachu doll that becomes Mimikyu. I'm fine with that. While I think this new one is cute, it's basically it's just Pikachu with two different colors on the side that has pockets. I'm like, you can't get lazier for a Pikachu clone than basically making it half a Pikachu. Like it literally has a tail impression in the back. That's not even a tail. It's just an impression on his back. His face is Pikachu's face. His body is Pikachu's body. And now they're at hangry. Did Pokemon really just put hangry in a video game? It has hangry mode.
That was dope.
Hangry mode.
That was dope. I like
Clearly
that.
listening to the kids
What is going on with some of these decisions? Is it funny? Sure. Oh, it's hangry mode. But like, what? Like that's
what the hell
weirdest
is
thing.
hangry?
It's when you're hungry and angry.
Hungry and angry.
Wow.
Because he gets mad. He gets really mad and turns all purple when he's hungry, which is all the time apparently.
When he does that.
Wow.
I understand people liking it, and I'm not going to clown or make fun of people liking it. That's cool. Again, I think he's cute, but that's also half because he's half Pikachu, and Pikachu is the OG. So, interesting. The Pokemon that they've shown off ahead of time have been a mixed bag between okay, some have been really cool, some are just weird, or in the case of Obstagoon, whatever, obsolete more like it. It doesn't make sense for the evolution line. I hate when they like all of a sudden, oh, now he's a punk rocker because he's in the UK. That doesn't even make sense. How does a little animal that like a little skunk or a raccoon turn into a humanoid person like figure? I don't understand that.
No sense.
Oh, listen.
It doesn't make sense.
Are you trying to make sense to this game though? Like Jordan, like
at least in the past, no. At least for the majority in the past, when Pokemon evolved or when they had designs, they followed a certain rule. Now this doesn't follow that rule. It does not at all, and that's my problem. Is that
Pokemon
to
follow the rules every time?
It doesn't make sense anymore.
Does it need to make sense?
At least when you get to Charizard, you start off with a little lizard, then another kind of medium-sized lizard, and then another lizard. But it's technically not a dragon, but it has wings. That's the fantasy element to it. That's okay. But when you take a badger or raccoon or skunk-looking mother effer, and then all of a sudden now he's standing on two legs wearing a vest looking like he's at a punk rock concert next to Gene Simmons.
Okay,
that's my problem.
Time out. But okay.
But why are you mad though?
But what about like you have like Dratini that it's like a snake and then it turns into a
Dragonite.
It turns into a Dragonite with 2 arms and legs and
Thank you.
They're all dragons. That's all in the dragon family.
Scyther and Scizor.
Scizor is literally just Scyther with armor. That's all. I'll tell you how. That's how you evolve it.
Dratini and Dragonite look. That's completely like.
Hold up, OJ. Look, Dratini kind of follows the same path of like a frog, because a frog starts as a tadpole and it has nothing. It's just a long squiggly line.
But a frog and a dragon aren't the same thing, though.
It ain't the same. No, I'm not saying the same thing. I'm saying it's the same concept of evolution. You know what I mean? It's like, let's not act like what Jordan is saying is right. It went from a skunk to a man in a vest. It was like, it didn't make any sense. It really did.
Like I said, if it was its own Pokemon, if it was its own brand new,
y'all really trying to make sense out of. Y'all really trying to make sense out of this.
I'm the biggest Pokemon fan on this podcast. Okay, and my whole channel's dedicated to it. I know, but as the person. No, you have not. I've been playing it since it came out. So I've been
playing it since it came out too.
So we play at the same time. You don't beat me. What is that argument? We played it since the start. We win both together. Cool. Let's celebrate. The fact is that if it was its own thing, it makes sense. Fine. It fits the region. True. But the fact that it's an evolution of an existing Pokemon, just to be like, hey, let's throw a new evolution for this Pokemon, that makes no sense. That's my problem. And if there are ones in the past that I'm not remembering, I'll call them out too. I think there's a bunch of old Pokemon that are stupid.
So yeah, but some people are mentioning Typhlosion in the chat.
What's wrong with Typhlosion?
Like how he goes into like a standing up kind of like man looking type of thing. Too.
If you look at Typhlosion, he doesn't have man features. His feet are like connected with like body fat of his whole
standing up. They're talking going from like some type of rodent thingy. I don't know what
things can stand up, but when it becomes if this badger literally was still a badger and stood up, it would still be a badger standing up. This badger now has a human body. It grew long appendages. It has a long tongue. It got swole. It's at the club every Friday night thrashing out.
That's swole, but okay.
My dude say he's at the club.
Yeah, he's literally moshing out there like that. That's the problem.
I don't know. I like the design of the Pokemon.
My biggest
like I said, it's a fine design. It doesn't work for the evolution line.
My biggest thing though, my biggest issue is that I'm still seeing N64 trees. I don't want to see more.
Well, that issue ain't being fixed anytime soon. So
the N64 trees definitely made a comeback. The models look okay though. The N64 trees made a comeback.
Nah, I'm not gonna get in the game at all. Dragon Quest 11S. Everyone go buy that game, please. Go buy that game.
What if somebody
the
wants?
best thing?
What
The
if somebody
best thing
wants a
about
competitive
Pokemon
game of Pokemon
so far. The best thing about Pokemon that they've shown so far for the Galar region is the incredible designs of the new characters, gym leaders, rivals. Like they've done a really good job at making unique characters in the game. I'm really impressed with how well they've done with that. My only issue so far have just been some of these Pokemon ideas that they're coming out with.
I have a question for the whole panel now that I think I can ask. I think everybody in here has played Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I'm playing it right now.
I'm never touching it in my life.
Okay, yeah, I forgot Jordan's not big on Fire Emblem, but everybody else in here has, and they've gotten pretty more than 10 hours, right?
Oh yeah, 60 hours,
30,
60 hours. So
0.
Can we universally say what I was talking about like weeks ago, that Intelligent Systems tried way harder for a leap of Fire Emblem than what Game Freak did for Pokemon?
Yeah, I mentioned that a long time ago too.
I can't say that until I've played the game. I can't say that until I
see it just off of playing Fire Emblem and looking at what they're showing you.
Okay, well then you can
see which company tried and which company
did not. Can you
say
the same thing? Can you say the same thing about Anthem? Did they try really hard on Anthem because of how it looks?
No.
Can you say if it's about graphics?
I'm talking about
no, time out.
And presentation wise,
this is all about graphics. This is all about graphics, right? So I guess Anthem they tried really hard then, right?
It's EA. They never try hard.
No, but they tried.
Let's not go to EA.
Let me play the game, and then we'll dictate who tried harder and what did what.
Oh my god!
Let me play the game.
All I know, it ain't no N64 trees in Fire Emblem.
Okay, but there's people said there's N64 ground textures, so
no.
There's actually some tall grass in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Okay, and there's some tall grass in Pokemon too.
There's some actually good-looking maps in Fire Emblem that actually surprised me when I got.
Fire Emblem's not an open world game. Open world type game, though.
I don't want to hear that excuse.
What do you mean? How is it not?
What do you mean?
No excuse.
Is Fire Emblem an open world game?
Fire Emblem is not perfect because the monastery does have some issues that should be fixed. That should be better than what it is.
Is Fire Emblem?
You can tell that company tried to at least.
Is Fire Emblem an open
leap from what they had before?
Okay, the Pokemon Company, they're horrible at making games. They're horrible at making environments. They're horrible at making anything. The game is horrible. Is that what you want people to say, Barry?
No, I want y'all to stop making excuses behind this shit.
Facts.
I just find it ridiculous that you're comparing a game. Go ahead, VC. Go ahead.
Stupid. Team Yell. Are you gonna tell me that Team Yell is the new team?
It's
like I think they're a mock team.
I don't care who the new team. To be honest, I don't care who the new team Cosmos.
I actually think it's funny. It's a toxic fan base. That's hilarious.
I don't think it. Who cares, man? Are you really buying it for Team Yell, or what if they're named Team? I love whatever the name is. So you're gonna buy it. Oh, it's a great team name. Are you really buying it for the damn team name? Like, who gives a crap?
Yeah, everything makes a difference in the game. All the stuff that we saw in the trailer, I wasn't really impressed by much. I was brought the idea of Galarian forms. Thing was like, oh, that's awesome. Zigzagoon, finally, they're doing stuff that's not Gen 1 for once in Pokemon's life. Like, all they do is shove Gen 1 down our throats. They had to give us Weezing. They just had to. Please. Like, there's so much stuff that they can do.
Wait. I gotta check you. They just had to give us Weezing. Weren't you the one campaigning for the National Dex? What's wrong with Weezing, bruh?
Weezing. I love Weezing. But they did Weezing dirty. They did Weezing so dirty.
Why?
He's a poison fairy. He's a dragon killer.
That's great for him being a dragon killer. He gets whooped by psychic types. Whooped. But that's not the point. The point is it's just stupid. It makes no sense. I'm not going to get the regular Weezing in this game because the Galarian form's in it because they're taking out the Pokedex. That's dumb.
So you want just a poison.
His design makes sense for pollution. It's a good take on pollution, as well as like a hint at like British stuff. Like that makes sense because it's just a form and it really doesn't change the physical shape except for adding the cones on the head. That's the only change it does to it. Unlike Lanoon to Obstagon or Goon or whatever, because that is completely different. This at least has little subtle changes that make sense for the region, similar to the Alolan form. So I'm fine with Weezing. I think it's kind of funny. I like the little gas mustache. Like that's fine, but I can understand people don't like it. I can get a point of not liking it as well. It's a very like when I saw that picture before I watched the trailer, I saw the picture on Twitter and I was like, that's not real. And I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, it is real. I was like, okay, go for it, Pokemon. I just like the fact that everyone thinks it looks like a bong. I mean, because it does.
But that's the problem.
It does.
It's like a bong and a hookah.
It
It don't look
does.
like Pokemon anymore, and it does look like a bong. It definitely does. More, it's a shame. And
I bet someone in the Pokemon universe has tried to use it that way.
That's instant death if you do. Weezing spits out poison. So
I mean, you gotta hook Weezing up first with the good, and then
a Weezing would be absolutely terrifying. Imagine actually having Weezings rolling around where you live. That would be absolutely terrifying to have a Weezing rolling around.
Levitate, they don't roll around. So
well, whatever.
That's even worse.
Having Weezings levitating around
this
would
one's
be
9 feet tall.
would be terrifying. That'd be absolutely terrifying to have that. A lot of Pokemon would be terrifying.
It's what my friends call a tall bong. That's what they would call it.
A tall bong that can kill you. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the last topic here, or the final topic. Gamescom 2019 is shaping up to be pretty big. With stuff that's going on at Gamescom, there's going to be, I think, 10 to 15 different announcements on opening night or new announcements. Sega's going to be showing off a AAA game. So Sega has a AAA game that they're going to be showing off. And it seems like Gamescom is going to be a little bit bigger deal than what people were initially expecting, at least. So for those who don't know, Gamescom is like the E3 of Europe. It's held in Germany. And there are going to be some new announcements. Last year, I know they showed off, like, Nintendo's there. So you're going to get Nintendo's Red Cube. So they're going to be showing off, like, hands-on demos. Astral Chain's going to be there. There's going to be Link's Awakening's going to be there. A lot of the games that are coming out this year are going to be there in demo form or just be showed off, like, with a new trailer or something like that. So any of you guys excited to see what, or actually, this might be a better, what do you guys think Sega's going to do at Gamescom? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go on the limb and say they're gonna show a new Sonic game.
They said a new unannounced AAA game. Apparently, the Sonic game was already announced. But
Nice.
With the
When
Sonic
was
the movie game.
announced? Because I missed that announcement.
They said that they're working on a new Sonic game. It wasn't officially announced, so I mean, I guess you can kind of say it wasn't officially.
They're always working
announced,
on a new Sonic game.
but they said that they are working on their next gen Sonic. That's what they said. They are working on their next gen
At
Sonic
this
game.
point, I don't know what Sega can announce.
Nice.
Anybody.
Skies of Arcadia 2.
Star 5.
Skies of Arcadia is never returning. Give it up.
They just said, you said, what can they announce that would hype people up? Dude, Skies of Arcadia 2 would get people super
What
hyped.
they can actually announce. We know that's not happening.
Sonic Adventure 3 would get people hyped.
It would.
I
But
would.
that's-
You know what? I wouldn't, because Sonic failed me for decades. now,
Dude,
no.
Sonic Adventure failed. I didn't like Sonic Adventure. I like Sonic Adventure 2, but Sonic Adventure 1, I didn't really like. But
I
went
like
back,
one a little bit.
I went back and played
time
Sonic
to
Adventure. It's not very good. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, they're both not very good games in my opinion.
Listen. Chaos had potential, okay? Chaos had potential. They could have did more with Chaos. He had potential.
Knights is likely. I don't know if Knights is likely. I don't know if that's likely. I wouldn't say.
I was
Knights.
saying Knights.
Ain't
I was
nobody gonna give a damn about Night.
Need like
It
we
might
need
be
to have-
another Alien game on it.
or maybe Fantasy Star, not online, but bringing back the Fantasy Star, maybe Fantasy Star 5.
That would be great.
You know,
I don't
what?
think so.
Like the RPG, basically the RPG element of Fantasy Star was on the Master System. Yeah, I can see that happening.
I don't think so. They're really big into Fantasy Star. So I don't.
Into it that's not in the West. Like, what is that?
They're bringing it to the West. I mean, Xbox getting it first. It's coming to other consoles.
It's coming to Xbox and PC, but I already have my account, so all I gotta do is just port everything over.
My favorite thing for Gamescom in general was getting an email from a Jeff Keighley press release that he sent out, and he could not be further trying to hint that he just really is in love with Kojima more and more. His email from him, it said Hideo Kojima and 15 other game companies are going to be at Gamescom. I was like, bro, why do you have to separate? Like, he made it first. Like, Hideo Kojima, he's going to be there. He's going to be there, guys. He'll be there. I don't know, maybe I'll be there, but he's going to be there. And check out Death Stranding because he has it. But also 15 other companies are going to be there too. So whatever. But Kojima, I'm telling you, he's going to be there. I love him. What? Huh? What?
Game Awards interesting this year.
I think OJ. I mean, they did. You did see Panzer Dragoon. They are bringing back Super Monkey Ball in HD.
Thank God.
No.
The biggest thing that probably happened that's very feasible is probably Virtual Fighter or
that'll be dope.
I can only see Virtual Fighter. I don't see Crazy Taxi or something like that coming back. I don't see
Toe Jam and Earl.
They already brought that. They got the indie of that game back. I don't see them doing that over.
The problem with Sega is that Sega has first of all, Sega owns a lot of amazing IPs, but they don't own the developers, or they don't necessarily have direct rule over those IPs. Like for example, they own Atlas, but Atlas is still Atlas. You know, they own Bayonetta, they own Vanquish, they own Mad World, they own all these different IPs, but they don't got any developers actually in-house that can make that stuff. Everything's like Platinum Games, or, you know, they're sharing it with Nintendo, or Nintendo's doing the publish. Like, everything is made by somebody else. That's the problem with Sega. So that's why it's hard to say what's going to come back. Skies of Arcadia, are the developers who even made that game even around anymore? Like, that company,
I don't know.
The developers who made Skies of Arcadia, I think they literally got, like, they were vanished without a trace. So it's like, that's what we're talking about. Like, who even makes Phantasy Star? Like, Sega makes it, but like, what are the developers that make that? So that's the problem with Sega. It seems like they're just a publisher, and they don't have anybody in-house that actually makes anything. I know they do, but it just seems like they don't have any developers that make anything.
I'm gonna go on a limb. Yeah,
I would say
I don't see that coming back.
You know what? I have a wild card. Vector Man. That's my wild card.
Lost Planet. That's Capcom, isn't it?
No, Vector Man.
Yeah, Lost Planet is Capcom.
Somebody said Lost Planet 4. That's Capcom.
Oh, oh no.
Somebody in the chat said Lost Planet.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say House of the Dead reboot.
That'd be dope.
Or whatever Platinum Games is doing, because they said they had a major game they didn't show yet, and now Sega says that they have a major game they didn't show yet. So it could be a deal between Platinum and Sega.
What if it's? Let me look through some of Sega's some other IPs.
I'm looking at some of them too. Like, there's Golden Axe.
Money on
it has to be Virtual Fighter, House of the Dead, or Platinum Games collaboration. Got to be the three.
I'm sticking with Vector Man, a new age Vector Man.
That would be.
If they make it 3D based instead of like 2D based, if they make a 3D world Vector Man, that could work.
I don't know. Like, how would people take, like, you're like a green?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's hype." Like,
is anybody gonna be like, "That's hype" for like a 3D Vector Man?
But it's like if they do it, let's say, and this is just a big example. Let's just say they've been working a really long time on this, and the presentation is mind blowing to the point where it's like it's not as high, but like Platinum game style, like Astral Chain style.
Are they gonna? Because they say AAA, so you know what AAA means. It means they're spending
$60.
It means they're spending money on it. It doesn't mean the game's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's why I said it's Virtual Fighter Dead. That's the only thing I can see them spending major money on.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look and see what game. Yeah, you're right. Virtual Fighter's probably.
Some people are saying Knights. I mean, I know RGT said Knights. Some people, the more that I look at their franchises and what's going on here, the more that I'm thinking, you know what, maybe it's Knights. You know.
That's what I said originally.
I don't think nobody would be interested in Knights.
People would be interested if they made it a Knights that looked absolutely phenomenal. Not like they made it look like it was obviously it had the same styles, but they actually made it like high detail in the world.
Actually,
like that would be dope. I'd be completely.
That could be Sega's way back into it. That's a forgotten Sega IP.
Baron, have you played Knights?
Jet Set, bro.
I did. I didn't like it.
You didn't like Knights on the Sega Saturn?
No, I didn't.
What, dude? Knights was the craziest thing.
What about Knights on the Wii?
Knights on the Wii was good too.
I tried that one and I didn't like it either.
Oh, okay.
So what about more Jet Set?
Wait, was that the last night?
I actually like Jet Set, but I don't think it's a market right now.
If they put Knights, but now I'm thinking about it when I see this, and I'm just gonna entertain the thought to make everyone. If they put Knights in Smash,
They're not
gonna do that.
Yeah, I know that.
here's the part.
I'm just
y'all
being
y'all
dumb
not
right now.
thinking about.
Ooh,
Sega
Space
already,
Channel 6.
Oh, Space Channel 5 was kind of cool. I like that
Yeah,
game.
so now we get Space Channel 6.
Here's the thing, though.
That'd be dope.
I gotta understand, like OJ said, it's AAA. This means they're willing to put money into it. So y'all gotta think about what Sega, who hasn't been very kind in putting money into stuff, what is highly likely for them to throw their money at?
They've put money into nothing, actually.
Exactly. They're not keen to put their money in stuff. So if they want to use their own money, it has to be Virtual Fighter or House of the Dead.
But Virtual Fighter flopped so bad for them.
It did.
So are they?
I don't see.
What if there's like a new Valkyria Chronicles?
They did one last year.
They just did one 2018.
But what if they announce one for next year?
They could.
They could.
Like, what do you mean? Like, games come out every 2 years.
Well,
sometimes.
I mean, they did Valkyria Revolution, and then Valkyria, that was 2017, and then Valkyria Chronicles 4 came out 2018. So
I know what they're bringing back, guys. It's really obvious. It's Virtua Tennis.
Oh Lord,
this guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guys,
First of all, Virtual Tennis is dope, by the way, but
it's about time, man.
I'm looking.
What's the last great tennis game that's came out?
Mario Tennis Aces?
No, a real tennis game, like a realistic sports tennis game.
The last
great going to buy that at this today, not in this age.
Did you guys ever play the tennis game on the Wii? It was like from EA. It like used the Wii Motion Plus. That was the last great tennis game that I played.
No, I played the Wii Sports one.
Tennis. Yeah,
no, there was one that was from EA. I forgot. It had like McEnroe on the cover.
No, I only played the Tiger Woods games from EA. Those are really good.
Yeah, what happened to golf games, man?
Yeah, Grand Slam Tennis. Who played
golf coming later this year? I have a feeling.
Grand Slam Tennis was the last great tennis game, man. That game was great, man. I love that game. It was pretty good on the Wii. They used
only a Mario 3 on the Switch. That's what I need.
You need what? That basketball game?
Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
That game was pretty good.
Characters in it, like Cloud and stuff. That'd be fire.
L Jink is saying like Shinobi. Maybe they really put some money into Shinobi and bring that back. That's something they can market. They can market Shinobi.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, with the success of Bayonetta and Sekiro and Devil May Cry, I think
they can do that.
Did you say Shrek Rio?
Shrek Rio for a
Shrek
dream.
Rio.
Shrek Rio.
He has a problem saying Sekiro.
I tried to say Shinobi and Sekiro at the same time.
Shrek Rio? I know there's some memes that can come from that right there.
Hey, you guys excited for that Machina game coming out? I love that Machina game.
That was Mechanica from Arms.
Machina. I love that.
Which she should be in the game. Mechanica should be in Daemon X Machina. She actually should be in it. That'd actually be really dope if she was a pilot in the game. That'd be sick. That's an idea they should do.
Why can't there be all these different like sports type property games, but like the Smash Bros version of it, like all the same characters in Smash, or a good majority of them in a Mario Strikers, or like a Super Smash Bros Strikers, or Super Smash Bros Baseball, or a sports compilation game that you can play all these different sports, but with all these characters. That'd be a lot more fun than just regular old Smash Bros. Am I right?
Ain't happening. Ain't happening.
I can hear all the boos.
Nah, man, you ain't taking my Smash. That's what makes Smash.
No. You still have Smash, but now they can have mini games. They can actually play sports together.
I'm greedy when it comes to Smash. I don't want no other game.
You don't want to see Cloud versus Banjo in like a one-on-one basketball game.
No, Square Enix rather cut their own throats than have that happen. I really think they'd never allow something like that.
Listen, Cloud was in a fighting game before, like in a different fighting game. That was trash.
They are
Square
Enix is. I mean, most companies are protective with their IP, but Square Enix is ridiculously protective of Cloud.
So what? Cloud can't catch a football, make a touchdown?
No, he doesn't know. His hands are too small.
He can't be the quarterback?
No.
He just can't be a lineman. There's so many other roles he could play.
His hair doesn't fit in a helmet. No.
Who said wearing any outfits or helmets? Just have them put them in their regular outfits running around. That'd be funny.
Nah, man, that don't sound.
Nah.
That don't lit.
Yeah. But
I'm down.
So what are you guys? So final thoughts on what you guys think this is gonna be? Final thoughts, Jordan. For real, what do you think this AAA game from Sega is gonna be?
Probably a new Sonic game.
Sonic.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
There's
saying.
nothing else that surprises me, man. Like, unless they're really gonna surprise me, that's great. But my expectations, it's like, hey guys, Sonic the movie, the game. You know, that's what they're gonna announce.
AAA, baby. Baron,
AAA.
your thoughts, man.
I'm going with House of the Dead.
Okay.
It's been a long time. Overkill was a long time ago, and that game was really damn good on the Wii.
10 years ago for Overkill.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
VC, your
It's either
your
gonna
prediction?
Fantasy Star 5, like a Fantasy Star 1.
You break it up a lot.
All new. No, it's possible. We'll find out. But
No, I think you was breaking up.
No.
I think you're breaking up. You saying no. I'm like the whole chat. They can't hear you, dog.
I don't know why I'm breaking up again. This stuff's crazy. All right, I'll just type it if you can't hear me. I don't know
All
what the
right,
hell's going.
type it in the chat. All right, so Abaddon, your final thoughts or your final prediction.
Between Fantasy Star 5 and then I'm glad VC mentioned it, Shinobi. Between Fantasy Star 5 or Shinobi would be my top two.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm gonna say it's going to be, if it's not Sonic, because I'm thinking that I think that it's Sonic. If the Sonic game that they already said that it was coming, if that wasn't part of it or whatever, I'm gonna say it's Sonic. But if that's out of the equation, as if Sonic's already been announced, I'm gonna say it's either one of these two. It's either Knights or it's Shinobi. Those are the things that I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be Knights or it's gonna be Shinobi.
It's probably gonna be Knights.
If it's Knights, great. If it's Shinobi, great. But those are two IPs that Nintendo, that Sega could really market and that could sell. I think Shinobi probably has a little bit more of a sales window, but Knights has the nostalgic factor. They both have nostalgic factor.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You think Knights is an easier sell than House of the Dead?
Much easier because it's a platformer.
I think because it's a platform, and because it's
the way how popular horror games.
Well, here's a couple. I just think Knights, to me, House of the Dead has never been a game in terms of like marketability that can like market like to where it sells a lot. I mean, it did sell okay, but I just think that maybe they want to go a little bit more family friendly and market like to where anybody can buy it. So Knights would be that game.
Yeah,
but Knights ain't really been that major seller either. So
I know. I'm just saying, like, if they're trying to put money into something and market it in terms of a large scale, right? Because that's what AAA is. They're putting money into it. They can market Knights a little bit like House of the Dead. I think that set like a Guinness Book of World Records for the most F-bombs or the most curse words in a game. I really think.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it did. You obviously can't market that. I mean, they can take a different tone with it, but I think there's outside of Grand Theft Auto, when it comes to like violent video games and stuff like that, it is harder to sell violent video games on a large scale AAA level. That's the reason why Uncharted is rated teen, and that's the reason why Uncharted isn't grotesque and super violent, because then they know 13-year-olds can't buy the game. So that's the only thing like with House of the Dead. If you want everybody to buy your game, it's probably not good if it's rated mature. It's probably not good. Now, you can still sell, don't get me wrong. You can still sell, but if a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old can't walk into the store and buy it everywhere, you are potentially losing out on hundreds of thousands.
But that's what they got Sonic for.
But it's not just about Sonic. You got to have more than one big seller, though. You got it, right? Look at Sega's sales reports. Their sales reports were trash.
What if it's just a new IP?
It could be a new IP. It could.
That'd be dope.
It could.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, we're sitting here like, oh, it's got to be this. And they come out, it's like, it's Obstagoon and his British friends. You know,
that's what it is.
What if they come out? What if they come out with Shadow the Hedgehog too?
Oh my god, I buy it.
Yes,
I'll
make hedgehogs say "damn" when they die again.
Yeah, I would totally buy that. If they made Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it wouldn't be advertised at Walmart because he has a gun. But I mean, like, it would be great. It would be a great moment in history if they made a Shadow the Hedgehog 2. The memes would be worth it alone.
Yeah,
the memes would be worth it alone. I'd be completely down.
They're gonna make the next Sonic game is gonna be called Sonic H2O. Why? Because it's going to come out in 2020, so that 2O is for 20, just like how they did Sonic 06, right? The H is going to stand for Hedgehog, so Sonic H2O.
I just saw something on my YouTube. I'm sorry, Jordan, that was actually pretty good. But I just saw Stone Cold Steve Austin was on ESPN talking about Baker Mayfield. I find this hilarious. Like,
what? He was?
Wait, what?
He was talking about Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, you did. Stone Cold. I just right here. I'm no joke. Stone Cold Steve Austin was talking about Baker Mayfield on ESPN. This is great.
Cleveland put a deep beat down today. Baker was looking good.
I'd rather talk about Obstagoon again than whatever.
Wait, you don't like Stone? You don't like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Jordan?
How do you not like?
I'm not into that whole world, but
you don't like Stone. Okay, answer. Do you like Stone Cold Steve Austin or not?
He's a fine person. I have nothing against him. I don't dislike him. I'm not a big fan. I mean, like, I'm not like following his career.
You're not a big fan of Stone. Do you want? You know what I hope happens to you?
I think he's a nice dude. I don't have any problem.
I hope you get Stone Cold
stunned. I never heard somebody
in public.
Wow.
Wait, what'd you say, Baron?
He describes Stone Cold as he's a nice.
He's a nice person. I've seen him do nice things in his real life when he's not in his persona.
Oh no, Stone Cold's actually a really good person. He's actually a really good person.
I've seen he's done nice things and been a good person, not in his persona of wrestling. So,
no, he's actually a really good person. But anyway,
good for him. I just haven't followed his career. Excuse me, I'm not a wrestling fan.
Man, I'm gonna stun next when I see you at too many games. The first thing I'm gonna do is Stone Cold stun. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put you in the stunner.
Please record that when you do it,
bro. I just can't wait when we meet, and I'm just looking down at you because you're like 5'2".
I'm not 5'2". This is ridiculous. I'm not that short. You're barely taller than me, Jordan.
Bro, I can take you. You don't bench a lot. You're short. You're not eating enough protein, bro.
I'm not short.
You have asbestos poisoning. Like, I got you on every front, man.
Jordan, no, you don't have him. You don't have him yet because he has one up on you. He takes a lot of vitamin D, so you got to watch out.
I'm not short. I don't know why people keep on saying I'm so short. I'm not short. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9". That is not short.
Oh, you 5'9"? Oh, you short.
That's not short.
Oh yeah, dude, you tippy toes the other day.
No, man, I'm not. Look, y'all think 5'9" is short. Y'all don't go to the gym. I've seen dudes 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". Hey, I'll take 5'9". I'll take 5'9".
I'm cool with 5'8". I'm cool with 5'8".
OJ,
bro.
OJ, we can end the discussion right now. All you have to do is go stand up by your bookcase behind you. We can determine how tall you are from that.
You don't know how tall the bookcase is.
I can see how high it goes according to your windows. I can see your windows.
Yeah, no, his Velcro curtains.
So
there's no way for you to determine.
Oh, they don't do it. It's a trap.
Yeah, there's no way.
Do it. It's a trap.
Yeah, there's no point.
It's a trap.
Don't do it. How tall you are by where your head lie on which shelf.
My G, I'm trying to save you.
You would have to know how tall you. Okay, listen. I watch Forensic Files. Okay, and they get people in terms of how tall they are by positioning in cameras. You have to know how tall something is in order to get the positioning. All right. So unless you know how tall, you need to know the make and model of those bookshelves. Okay, and then that's how you can kind of position yourself. But not only that, but the camera.
Look at all this defense. I'm not sure. You don't know the size of this, huh? You'll never know.
I'm just saying, like,
I told you, don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
OJ, you know you're short when if we go to the amusement park and you're not allowed to be on half the rides.
But I am. That's the thing.
But you know what? And OJ,
have we ever seen you at an amusement park on all the rides?
People see me in real life, though. Okay, listen. Okay, let me tell y'all something. You guys know Hip Hop Gamer? Who knows Hip Hop Gamer here?
Yeah, he's short.
No, he's short. Go back and watch my video, and I'm I'm kind of towering over him.
Why you put a man on blast?
I'm just saying. No, Hip Hop's my boy, but my man's short.
Put that man on blast.
Let me defend him. Let me. Hip Hop Gamer is short because I did meet him at the Game Awards, but Hip Hop Gamer is like 5'5". So you're not saying anything.
And I'm 5'9".
Oh, we have to see. I think you're 5'6".
I'm 5'6". This is coming from the same guy who says that he puts his Tinder profile. He's like 6'1", but he's not 6'1". You be lying about your height.
You don't want the Tinder on you, damn.
Damn,
he says it works, but he's single. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, what?
Hopping. What do you expect? It's the summer. It's a hot boy summer. Come on.
It's a hot boy.
This man said it's a okay.
This man be lying on his Tinder profile how tall he is. Look, I'm not lying about how tall I am. When y'all see
hot boy summer, I'm
all the time. Who cares?
I'm so done.
Listen, I'm 5'8". Jordan saw me at too many games. I'm not lying about my height. I'm 5'8".
But there's nothing wrong with. See, like, the thing about it, there's nothing wrong with being that height. It sucks.
No, I love it. I love my height
because I was like the shortest person on the football team, always like for college and semi-professional.
Right, because you're 4'11".
I was always
You're the
the
water
shortest.
boy.
But it wasn't until you get yourself out of that atmosphere against, like, if you're an athlete, until you start seeing, oh my gosh, if you're 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", you better be happy that you're not under that. Because for a lot of women, there's a median line. Like, if you're not 5'5", or at least 5'6" or 5'7" or taller, you can't. There's no shot.
OJ, why are you sitting up here lying, bro?
What do you mean lying about what?
Listen,
You know, once a female sees a 5 on their profile, they moving on. That's it. They moving right on.
That's not. I will tell you right now.
nah, it's not.
I will tell you right now. That is 100% false.
It is not. It is not true.
Unless you half naked or you flashing some money,
I'm telling you.
hell on to the next profile.
No, I'm telling you, as somebody who batted pretty good on Tinder. I've made the All-Star game almost every year.
You
that
made
I was
the
there.
All-Star game.
I was on the.
If
you batting 300 on Tinder, you're on the. That's major league. You're in the All-Star game.
Those are threes. What are you talking about? They're just some threes.
I can tell you right now. That was, dude. I went out on a
You
date
can't
with a girl.
count those unless you actually meet.
She
and,
was 6 foot and she did not care. I just stopped dating. She was 6 foot. 6
At
foot.
the dinner table, you can't tell.
Dude, that's barely taller than you, OJ.
The goalpost movement is.
The goalpost moving is. He just says, I'm super short.
Moving.
But
You moved the goalpost when you refused to go stand by that bookcase.
that's not moving the goalpost.
Listen, short people tend to get like very angry and agitated about their heights, so this makes sense for OJ right now.
I'm not angry at all.
Oh, you seem pretty defensive.
Oh no, I'm not. Trust me.
I'm not short. I can see over counters in the
I'm
kitchen. I'm not short.
Hey,
I'm not angry at all.
Guess who came to your defense? Charity came to your defense. Look
What's
at
this?
that. She always pops up at the right moment. Huh?
He says, that's not true. I'm 5'10", and I've talked to guys that are like 5. We got a real woman here to tell y'all what's going on here.
How do we know Charity is a real woman?
We got because
Hey!
Listen. The profile picture. Listen. Calm down. Hey, bring it down. Like it's one of those rap battles. Listen, I'm saying that as in Charity's profile picture is of a lady, right? Her name is Charity, but that could just be some dude named Bob with a fake picture.
Jordan,
Like,
man,
you don't know.
You just had to go.
the disrespect to Charity and her integrity. She has a Snapchat.
Don't do
by the
that.
way. Okay.
Oh, man.
I wasn't saying it like okay. I was saying it as like anyone could be anyone online. It could literally just be a fake.
Trady gonna choke slam you.
Yeah, you said it the wrong way. I take exception to that.
No, y'all misinterpreted.
You gotta apologize,
Y'all
man.
Can you
misinterpreted.
apologize,
What's so
You
bad
gotta
about
apologize, Jordan.
Mr. Tall Man?
on YouTube?
Listen, I apologize for the way I said it. I didn't mean to come off that way.
Look
So
what
I
he
can't
said.
wait for my canceling now, even though I didn't mean it that way.
Cancel
But
this
okay.
man. How dare
Regardless,
Narash is calling you out. Oh,
regardless, OJ's still short. So case
That's
closed.
true.
that's
Wait,
correct.
Charity, you got a POF account? You need to get off that trash.
you? See, look, because let me tell y'all something about women right now. At some point, the height stuff, what you're saying, Baron, that actually is true. When you're younger, but when you get older and you get screwed over by multiple tall dudes, at some point you're just looking for somebody who's actually legit. So the height doesn't matter.
OJ, look, you're not impressing nobody
Freer,
because these
not.
cougars are coming after you. Cougars always come after younger women. Younger men. That ain't nothing new.
It's not. I'm old myself.
In their 19, in their or late teens, 20s, and 30s. Now they want to cougar up and get anything that come at them. That ain't impressing nobody.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about women older than like 26, 27, like 27, 28, 29, early 30s. When you're younger, yeah, that's the case. That's what happens. But when you get older, honestly, they like I said, I dated 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot. They didn't care. They honestly did not care. Like I said, when I was younger though, they cared. When I was younger, I couldn't get a date with a girl that was taller than me. They would just instantly just shut down. But once you get older, it doesn't matter because a lot of the times the tall guys, the tall dude, they're the ones who screw over everybody. They're the ones who do all the screwing over.
True. That's not
Tall
true.
dudes get with every kind of girl, no matter what the size. Most
I mean,
tall
like
guys,
really tall
short
guys,
girls.
like 6'5", 6'6", stuff like. I'm not talking about guys that are like
4'11",
6'1".
5-foot girls. So that's usually how it is. There's a lot of people I know that are like that. They're like
Well,
super tall.
the studies say the most faithful and amazing boyfriends are the guys that are 6'1" to 6'3". I mean, 6 feet to 6'3".
Like
6 feet to 6'3". So
That's not true.
I'm like, you try to butter that up real fast for yourself.
That's not true. I think right around the 5'7" to 6'1" height. That's probably
anyone
the
below
most amazing.
5'10" gets shafted.
5'10", you're not tall enough, but then again, you're not super short. You're like the Malcolm in the middle.
Listen, man. It's all about how you speak, bro.
Exactly.
It's all about how you speak, bro.
Exactly. It's about the speech. It's about the speech. It's not about the other stuff. Well, being in shape and all that helps, but
being in shape helps.
I've seen like doughboys get girls before, so you know.
all right.
Yo, what are you saying, VC? I can't hear you, dog.
Yeah, VC.
God, I don't know what the hell my problem is now. I don't know. Wow.
Get closer to your mic.
He's already.
How loud do I need to be?
Look where my mic is. It's right.
Okay.
It's right here.
And
Hello.
let me give you guys another example. Another example. Rex, he's got 2 ladies that are way taller than him, bro. Two. My man is short. My man, because he out here, he's showing he's courageous. Yo, also, JoJo fans, Koichi. Yo, my boy Koichi. Yo.
You're going to use Rex as an example?
And Koichi.
How tall is Gon?
Gon? Oh, the funny thing about Gon is short as hell too. And there was like a 20, like what was she, like 25 or 26 years old? Who remember Palm? There's like this old lady that he went out on a date with. Literally, Gon is like 12 or 13. He went out on a date with this tall, like she's probably like 5'8", 5'9", but she's way taller than him. He's a little boy. And he got with her. So he's a short kid too. He went on a date with somebody that's like 20 something. So, you know, the short boy's coming back.
Nah, y'all been canceled a long time.
Nah, you're kind of like an accessory, not like a long-term thing.
You're the side piece. You're the one that pays for everything.
Hey,
God dang, boy.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing right now. What y'all saying? You guys' Tinder game is garbage. All of you guys. All of you.
Nah.
All of you. I'm done with Tinder.
Once a week.
I'm done with Tinder, but I went out on a lot of dates and there were girls taller. They had no problem because I was a gentleman. That's why I like Jonathan Joseph. He's my favorite. Joestar, sorry. Jonathan Joestar. Not Jonathan Joseph. Jonathan
Those are really nice people.
I
don't know. Maybe
Jonathan Joestar. He's my favorite JoJo. He's a true gentleman. That's how you actually get into it. It's you got to be a gentleman, not how tall you are.
Okay, so I got a closing question for the podcast that's really not gaming related, but I heard it on the radio. Kind of like what I heard, do you wash your legs when you're in the shower?
Oh, gosh.
So I heard this on the radio, so I was like, let me ask this question to people. It's not too deep, but it's on the cusp of it. So I heard on the radio that Blueface, he revealed his number.
Yeah, I heard
he
about
revealed
it.
his number of how many women he slept with in the last 6 months. Okay.
Okay, it has to be fabricated.
The reason I'm coming up with this, no, he's a rapper. He's really popular right now.
I know. I'm in the hip hop community. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
His number he gave is that he slept with 1,000 women in 6 months.
3-sums, 4-sums, 5-sums every night.
So my thing
I'm gonna call BS on that, but
I'm gonna call BS because I think it's only probably about 200 lower. I don't think it's all the way to 1,000, but it can be possible when you're a rapper. In that
sure. I don't disagree that it's a lot, but 1,000 women in 6 months.
I wanted to ask
self-love and
I wanted to ask the whole panel, what was the highest number you had in the 6 month period?
I am not
6 month
answering that
period.
question. Like, that is not a question that I'm going to be answering at all.
Okay, wait. What is the question? How many times or how many different people?
From people. That's
How many
definitely
It's people. He's saying people.
Within 6 months.
I don't think that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, that's not something.
No, it's not something to be proud of. I just want to gauge how many, certain people's levels. Like, what is
3
too many for people? What is too less for people? Because when he said 1,000, I was like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? Like, that is insane.
I'm gonna say 3 in a 6. 3 different people in a 6 month period. That was probably my highest.
Anybody else? OJ scared right now.
Yeah, y'all. Who cares? It's just a fun, dumb question.
It's just
OJ's all like, no, I'm a professional game channel. I can't be talking about my sexual relations. No.
You've been married for a while, so I don't think you can answer. So VC,
I'm chilling.
We can't even hear him. He's talking. He's still hello. There, we heard that one.
We can hear you. We can hear you now.
All right, there we go.
We can hear you.
It's a sign. It's a sign for you to not say.
We didn't even hear that. Like,
it's a sign for you to keep your mouth
just
shut.
put up numbers on your fingers. Just put up numbers on your fingers. Because if it's more than 10, I don't believe it.
Dang.
Not 10, but it's more like that. But
8.
How many guys? No, I'm joking.
That's good.
No, I'm joking.
Yo.
you only say that just because I don't got my mic working right now. Like that.
OJ, I feel like you got to answer the question for saying that.
No.
You got to answer the question now for saying that too.
Savage.
No, I don't think. No, man. I don't know, man. I
No, I don't have time. All I do is eat apples and go to the gym once a week.
Savage.
Mine is definitely the same number as VC.
Savage.
OJ wish he has 8 women and 6 moms.
You know what? Yeah, man. I mean,
you beat their butt a bit, and then you actually beat their butt a bit. Like,
hey, I got the new Switch in less than 6 months. I got the new Switch in less than 6. I got 4 Switches.
VC, how many men? Nah, man, you gonna let him get away with that? No.
we were talking, and I don't know what happened with my mic again. I was like, nah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about saying that wild shit. But
look, there's nothing.
I don't know.
Hey, look, it's very acceptable in today's culture, VC.
Yeah, we don't. Hey, to be fair, we don't know. Like, if you, dude, I mean, we support you fully.
Yeah,
you know?
we didn't say anything. We didn't say gender. You know what I'm saying?
If you're out here, if you're out here clapping any type of cheeks, good for you. That's what's up.
It is one. You don't gotta worry about that.
Oh, God.
Bro, my man used his skills at Donkey Kong the bongos.
Yo, I can't do this, man. Y'all crazy.
Baron, your dumb question, bro.
Hey, man, I hear this stuff on the
Yeah,
radio.
that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I like these kind of questions. Fun.
That was hilarious.
It makes you think, though. It makes you think about.
Don't make me think about anything. I'm thinking about
does. It
how I'm
makes
gonna
me-
play
Bro,
Fire
that
Emblem
means
tonight.
statistically, Blueface right now is clapping. Like statistically,
Is he clapping or does he have
the problem.
probably
He
both.
might have both.
The problem with what Blueface is talking about, like this, that's so physically exhausting. There's no way. Like that's impossible.
There's no way it has.
So, OJ, my question is, what number is not physically exhausting, in your opinion?
For once a year.
a 6 month period.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends on like your job. How much hours a day are you working? You know, like
I mean, for you in your lifestyle.
Yo, you trying to figure out how
in a
long we
6
last
month
now?
period,
Or are we
like,
talking
what-
about this
how many
podcast?
different women?
How many will be exhausting to you in your lifestyle job?
You should get married and you should be with your wife, and that's how much. That's what you should do.
See, OJ took the family.
That's what
Like
I
Blue-
suggest.
I see you.
Blueface, I can believe Blueface could do it because his job is to pump out music when he can, to do some concerts and maybe make some appearances. The rest of the time, he's just probably buying jewelry, some Bluefaces, and then
Maybe
just busting down. You know, he busts down Tatiana. Okay, that's what's going down.
Three
right
times a week once you're married. I mean, maybe 2 times a week.
Oh, wow.
Maybe once you're married. I'm not
2
really
times
sure.
a week.
Yeah.
Bro, if I'm married, if I'm married, the contract states every night.
Nah. You ain't gonna,
2 times a
you're gonna
week
be,
and you married?
you're gonna be
What kind
tired,
of
bro.
bullshit is that?
Yeah, twice.
That's bullshit.
2 to 3 times. Yo, every night? Yo, crazy.
2 nights? You married in 2 nights? No, you got to go.
You be shooting blanks by Sunday, bro. Come on now.
Hey,
by
at least you're shooting something.
Friday,
you know?
Saturday, you're gonna be out. You're gonna be out by then. What you talking about every night? Yeah, man, every night. Come on. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna go to work. You got stuff to do every
This
night.
just means that OJ's sex life is really boring.
What are y'all talking about?
Dang.
My man is like, should we just do
2 nights a
missionary
week,
again?
dog? There's no way.
But y'all out here talking about every night.
Bro, you gotta spice it up, you know?
Your
You're
wife
in the
gonna divorce
cosplay.
you. Your wife is gonna divorce. All you guys gonna get divorced right now.
No, you get the girls in the cosplay, dude.
Okay, look, I don't want to disrespect Abaddon. Every night, man.
I'm married. That's all I'm gonna say.
Every night.
Every night, baby.
I'm married. That's all I'm gonna say.
Every night, baby.
I'm married. That's all I'm gonna say.
Abaddon, I'm gonna ask you a question now. You
Nope. The answers. I'm not answering.
Abaddon does it every night.
Abaddon, I just want to ask you this question.
What's up?
Just stick to this side. Is 2 nights a week acceptable for you?
Listen, I am married. I am not on say nothing.
It kind of seems like off camera, his wife's just like.
I would say 2 to 3 times would be enough to where it's not going to be like too much of a problem.
Bro,
That's what I would say. Like, y'all talk
listen.
about. See, you guys
Are you the type of guy?
OJ, I'm not talking about 7 days. No, that's too much.
Okay, then what are you talking about then, bro?
6.
It has to be 3 to 6.
I just
3
said 2
minimum
to 3.
at the bare minimum. No, that's when I travel too much.
6 is way too much. You know good and well. 6 times a week. That's ridiculous.
No, you break on Sundays. That's a day of peace. It's a day of rest.
Church, nah.
See, the thing is, have y'all
2 times a week?
I'm glad we all knew what day was the breakdown. That's the funny part. I'm mad we knew what day it was.
I find that to be tiring to do 6 times. I find that to be very tiring.
Bro, your stamina low, man. That's why you need to eat some more protein. Eat some more protein. Get some more energy in there so you can last.
Jordan, when you get married
2
one of these days, I need not video. I need logs, okay? Because you're not gonna keep that up.
You want my chart? You want my nightly performance chart?
You're gonna be all spunky at the beginning, but wait till you have kids. Wait till there's other stuff that comes.
Right now, I'm not even about the whole kid thing.
Here's the thing, though. You gotta understand, each time is a different length, so it's not always the same length. So
yeah, OJ probably lasts like 2 minutes anyway.
So when you say 2 times a week, I'm like, no way. That's no.
Man,
so you're telling me, OJ, you can't spare 14 minutes of your week?
But 14 minutes is that? You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get divorced because you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna 14 minutes,
and not unless you spice it up and have fun with it.
You're gonna fall asleep, and then she's gonna be looking at you like, "This dude's whack." Y'all don't know what 14 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yo,
are you saying you can't get her off?
You can't get him.
Look, I'm not getting into this discussion.
Is this the
It's
problem?
not a discussion that I'm getting into.
This podcast is totally
But all I'm saying is that.
OJ, abandon ship, OJ.
14 minutes, you must be the Flash. No, you must be the Flash.
That's what it seems like for you. Are you the 2 pump chump? The 2 pump chump.
OJ, I'm putting you like this, man. It's only 2 times a week. Both of these sessions have to be damn near 45 minutes to an hour long. There's no, I mean, that's just.
Yeah, you pouring some like candle wax on the back, getting into it.
LG Kazar, no real woman is going to agree to 6 times a week unless you're dating, like, I don't know, like.
What do you mean? Women like it too. Women like it. Men aren't the only people who enjoy sex.
Women are not gonna. There's certain months. You know, there's no way, dude. There's no way.
What do you mean certain months? You mean certain weeks?
Certain months.
There's not like a whole month. They're like, no.
46. Come on, man.
Okay, look.
You can barely pump it out anymore.
All I gotta say is this: when y'all get married, let's see if this energy keeps up. So y'all talk about a single life,
bro.
Okay.
OJ.
Hey, I'm like the Hulk, right? The secret is I'm always ready. All right. If it's go time, it's go time.
Yeah, because you're single. When you're married, it's different.
That just means you can have it more often. That's great.
Yeah, you can. You have, but it's not going to happen every single time because there's going to be other stuff that comes
up. If you find someone who equally enjoys it, you guys are all used to being single. It's like, yes, let's do it. You gotta spice it up. You gotta do cosplays. You gotta do weird. You gotta do fun stuff. You gotta spice it up. Have some fun. You can't just be like, all right, let's do missionary again, I guess. Like,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
that's boring.
That's like not seasoning your food. Like, how are you gonna
killing me right now? Oh,
yeah, well, you want right, VC? You want bland food? You want some seasoning on that?
I really wish Abaddon could just really help this conversation out.
He can't. He can't. He's married.
Just give us something.
He's married. He can't.
I've been telling you to abandon ship the entire time.
I need somebody that's married. Somebody that before we go.
C-Lab 2021 and keep jumping, keep deep diving with this.
No, before we go, somebody that's actually married in the chat. Who 6 times a week is this a thing? Married people in the chat. I've got to know.
Also, when y'all answer,
Okay, OJ, you
tell me
something?
if you're in a relationship right now or you married, chat. Tell me if 2 times a week is acceptable.
That might be a little low. I'll admit.
Let me tell you
okay.
this. When I was in my last relationship, it was 6 times a week. And that relationship lasted for 3 months. And it was fantastic.
That's
Okay.
The stamina is there. The stamina is there. Oh, you do it multiple times a day? Oh, you're trying to do 14 times a week.
Listen.
Everybody's putting 4.
He's trying to get that lunch and dinner.
Joshua is straight up lying. Look at what Joshua said. This man said, "I'm married. We do it 7 times a 3-week hour and 7 times a week, 3-hour sessions." You lie.
That's 20. That's 21 hours of it.
Exactly what it is. That's the fact.
This guy.
That's the fact.
Look, I see nobody saying 2, OJ. That 2 is just, it's not acceptable. That's just not acceptable.
Okay, so there you go. El Javelina, I'm married, and OJ is right on. 2 to 3 times a week, been married for 16 years.
What about all the other comments
It's
above
different.
that?
It's so
lying.
different.
They actually married.
It is different for other people. Different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying?
Esteban. Okay, Rodrigo says, man, it's not acceptable. 4 times a minimum. 4 times a minimum. Esteban says 2 to 4. So that's what I'm saying. I said 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 4. But 6 times.
You all just don't have a sex drive. That's really what it sounds like to me.
Oh Lord, this dude is great.
I'm not asking John. I'm not.
Tear a hamstring if you do it 6 times. Good Lord.
That just seems excessive for a married couple.
No, that's why you spice it up, man. It's like, that's so boring.
Not everybody's gonna have your women dressed in like Aerith or something like you do, John, or whatever you be doing.
you just have to figure out things to spice it up.
OJ, read that from damn, where did it go?
He said 6 times a week is impossible when you are married with kids. I think that's
I will say
I'm not having kids as of right now.
Wait, Abaddon, finish what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say Damien is on the money. 6 times a week, with kids. That's be realistic.
That's almost impossible.
Be realistic.
That's all
OJ. Can I point something out? This is not a shot at the rest of the cast, this is something that you're gonna understand when I say it. You're in the 30 above club, dog. You're in the 30 above club.
Yeah.
Y'all get it. We are reaching differently on different things.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll be doing this when I'm 80, bro. I'll be in the retirement home doing it.
No, when I say 30, your mind thinks differently. So
exactly. No, it is. You're absolutely 100% right about that. There are other you got priorities, but you got other priorities. You gotta.
I wouldn't even just take it priorities. Your mind expands on the time that you have together with that person. If you're married, first of all, I would have hoped that you're marrying someone that you're cool with, or you're friends with. And let's say, other than that, you say, you know what? Let's go chill and do something else. Let's go out. Let's go ahead. In fact, if instead of this,
yes, you can still do all that, and still at the end of the night, or during lunch, or in the morning, get some in real quick. What's the problem with that?
There's a balance between cars. We're not saying
you're right.
We're not saying it 4 times a week. Every time has to be 45 minutes. We said out of them 4 times, one might be 5, the other might be 30, the other one might be 25. It's a different link to each session. But when you say 2, I'm like, there's no damn way. If I'm really attracted to you and I'm in love with you, there's no way it's going to be 2 times.
Well, it's not happening. If it's 2 times and it's 2 hours each time, then there you go.
You make it last. Stretch it out.
That was probably like the best response you could have saved yourself with. Now OJ abandoned ship.
I'm done.
This man said 2 hours 2 times a week.
Yeah.
But you got time to do that though. 2 hours. You got time for that.
Because it's only 2 times a week. The other 5 days, you get your grind, man. You're doing other stuff.
Shut up.
Shout outs to Brian Jedi, who appreciates the conversation. He's
Oh,
like,
man.
he learned a
See,
couple
this
things.
is the real podcast I want. I love this Howard Stern real type talk. Baron, can we do our own podcast where it's just real stuff like this?
I don't mind
Because
doing another
this-
I might
podcast
think
talking
about
about this.
that.
I don't
I
mind
might
doing
think
another one talking about this type of stuff if you guys.
Because
want
this
to.
is the real topics that it's funny, it's interesting, it's real life stories, and I think everyone can be involved in the chat and us, and it's fun.
I think we could do something
like
like
this stuff.
you know, off the record or something like that podcast. Something along those lines.
I can do that.
Like,
I can do
Yeah.
that for you guys.
Yeah,
I can do that.
something
We can
like
set
that.
it. We
I'm
can
down.
do it next week if you guys are down to do another podcast with me.
But OJ
down.
got to answer the damn questions though if we're going to do this. You
Can't be
beat
dodging.
around
So
the bush.
listen, guys. I've realized that this Pokeball controller is too small for my hands. That's what I've realized at the end of the day, and I cannot use
The
it.
segue is real.
So we are finishing up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Brian, thank
the
you for the
segue is
donation.
real.
So
Oh my god.
let's go ahead and let's finish this podcast up, and let's get outros for everybody. I will start with V. My mic cuts off. C. Go ahead and let people know where they can find you, my man.
You can hopefully hear me now. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at VCIPZ, VC or VSIPs. I got music, I got videos, I got graphics I do for people, I produce for people. Whatever you want to do, make sure you follow me.
All right, cool.
Hope you can hear me. I know I've been on and off. I don't know what the hell's up with my mic.
We heard
You
you.
finally sounded good tonight, bruh.
You good? Next up
Tonight,
is
finally.
Jordan. Jordan, where can they find you at, my man?
You can find me on Jordan Fringe. It's my channel. I talk about Pokemon. That's about it. That's all I do in my life. So check it out.
There you go. Baron, where can they find you at, my man?
Yeah, I can find me on Twitter where all the hilarious stuff goes down. If you ain't following me, you missing out because it's funny.
You can also find Baron at a brothel with Lamar Odom too.
Really? Oh my God.
You can also find him there at a brothel with Lamar Odom, entertaining many people. All right.
But you can also find me on that Astral Chain on the 30th.
Yeah, baby. We're looking
Chain
forward to that,
gang.
man. All right. And Avedon, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Mixer at Avedon Smith, and also my second channel, ASVG Beats. Actually, tomorrow I have a remix of Astral Chain coming, so make sure you guys peep that. And yeah, pretty much it.
Astral Chain, the music sounds a lot like Nier, man, which is great. You know, they have a lot of like Nier-ish type music. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, also guys, in terms of content, I've got a Nintendo Switch. What should you be buying? Like basically like best games video tomorrow morning. So look out for that. And then I'll have
Mario Odyssey, Zelda.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I also have a, if you want to know, be honest, pretty much. And then I also have a new Nintendo Switch video that I'll be doing probably Saturday. Maybe I'm going to test it out tonight with some games. And then I'll probably have that Saturday for you guys. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate that.
Wait, OJ, you have a video that has to come out tomorrow, though.
Yeah, the Switch
The
video.
Dora movie hit theaters tonight.
It did.
Oh,
It did.
God.
Yeah, it did.
No.
You have to, OJ, you have to go see it and review it. You have to.
I'm
review
going to
it.
probably go see it.
OJ, come on, go see the movie.
I'll go see it with my daughter. I'll go see the Dora movie with my daughter.
We look forward to the review.
Yeah, so I got a couple more visits that I'm going to be doing, and then maybe we can change it up with when I see my daughter because I can only see her at one spot. So once we change it up, I'll probably be able to take her to go see the movie. So we'll do that.
Next week, we got to hit a review about it. Next
So
week.
yeah. Well, I don't know if it'll be next week. I mean, I gotta wait till maybe after the certain point.
Whatever you can.
But yeah,
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. I will definitely go see the Dora movie with my daughter. 100% go see the Dora movie with my daughter. 100%. And there will be a review. There will be a pseudo or I'll talk about it on a podcast or something like that. But yeah,
All right, cool.
I'll definitely go see it with my daughter. So that should be fun. Should be fun. All right, guys. This man Elgin said OJ got a special screening. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys back for more news and more information and more awesome stuff on PlayerEssence. All right, bye.
Peace.
OJ is short.
No, I'm not.
Sure.